Niners! Smooth, thinking about your fam, praying for you every day. Hopefully this situation will somehow you'll endure this. Let me ask you a question, fam, real quick. Are you, by any chance, involved in March Madness and brackets? How the hell did Arkansas beat St. John's? I'm done. You know what? They've done so many things with that thing that you can lose your ass now betting on things that make sense. Okay, anyway, I had to get that out of my system. Okay. Fam, here's the question though. Can San Francisco get over Rodgers? You know, this has been an ongoing drama, and it's become a saga with the 49ers. Well, and not so much the 49ers as it has the media. I think 90% of the time, the 49ers didn't even ignite those questions. But you know how the 49ers are. Kyle and John are always saying things like, "No, we'll examine every or explore anything that's going to help this team get better." So I think most assumptions were made from that. So, but Aaron Rodgers, the feasibility versus unfeasibility of 49ers trading Brock Purdy to the Giants. There's number one. All right. Now, for the past 9 years or so, since the arrival of Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco, Aaron Rodgers has been in a conversation sending him to the Niners each and every offseason, sometimes during the middle of the year. Even now, at 41 years old, Rodgers remains in the offseason madness to send him to the Niner Empire. There's a lot of advocates of that, too. Remember Niner Mike? How him and I used to go guns out, boy, every time we got together about Aaron Rodgers coming to San Francisco. I mean, he thought it was all about Jimmy G. It wasn't. I said, man, come on, man. Aaron Rodgers, him and Kylie could get along for 5 minutes. And I still believe that. I mean, we're talking oil into water. Aaron's going to be out there trying to do his own thing like he did with LaFleur. And Kyle's going to be sitting over there doing weird things. It wasn't going to work. I could be wrong. I don't think so, though. The New York Giants are involved in the matter to provide 3, not 1, not 2, 3 first-round picks to the Niners for Brock Purdy, while also eliminating one of Rodgers' signing options for the 2025 season. How smelly is that BS? I mean, that is really what? I'm not trying to, because I want to debate this tonight. To the phones we go, mainly for Sunday entertainment purposes, to either defend or condone the ongoing disrespect of Brock Purdy versus Aaron Rodgers. Anyway, but before I did not say Brock's on the same level with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' talent is unequivocal. The man is one of the best in the game of all time as far as arm talent. But Aaron Rodgers, man, that boy, ooh, he's become a real mental case. Again, let me not interject. Oh, here we go. My favorite. I always pick up the quotes that make me laugh the hardest. This is one reason why Mike Florio does have a point. Mac Jones, quote, "I know Brock personally, and he's done a great job and played really good football in the NFL. So I've been really watching him from afar on game film and stuff, and just want to learn from him and be a sponge." And you know what, though? If you're going to be a part of the 49ers locker room, Mac Jones is a very sharp individual. Don't come in here making waves or sounding like you're going to from day one. Welcome to the team, Mac. Mike Florio said, "I ain't having this." I got something I'm going to say. You know how Mike Florio is. Mike Florio, quote, "I've heard enough about Mac Jones over the years, and I've seen enough from Mac Jones. He's not going to show up and bow down to Brock Purdy. He's going to go in there with the mindset of, I can win this job. I was the 15th pick in the draft, 2021. This guy was the last guy taken, 2022. This guy, right place at the right time, running Kyle Shanahan's offense. That's all you have to do. You listen to Kyle and you do what Kyle wants, and you're going to play well." Oh, Mike, this is, You really did do it this year because, Mike Florio gets bored, and the first thing he does is come after the 49ers. And in fact, a lot of beat writers and people around the league have they come up with a lot of creative ways to trigger a fan base. And, we're not in the mood for jokes. It's been a long time since we won a Super Bowl. We've been stressed out with 2 Super Bowls within the last 10 years. We don't find these things funny, and that's why they do it. See? We could just say, well, fine, that's the way you feel about this? God, that's no big deal, dude. I suggest medication, but no, we're not. We're not going to jump on this. We're not going to get pissed off, go flying into the orbit. We're fine. Do it. Go ahead. Have your opinions. It's fine. No, we do. And then there's FS1's Craig Carton proposed a trade scenario involving the Niners and the Giants. I know you've already seen it. I want to talk about it. Carton suggested the Giants trade 3 first-round picks, including a swap of first-rounders, this year in exchange for Brock Purdy. Carton boldly made his case, saying things like, quote, "Here's a trade nobody says no to. The Giants trade 3 first-round picks, includes a pick swap this year with the 49ers for Brock Purdy." If you read this, did you keep reading? There's a clip, too. The Niners signed Aaron Rodgers, 12, to be their starting quarterback for the 2025 season. You're welcome. No need to pat me on the back. Just happy to help, unquote. Oh, Carton. Carton, I think he does look like a guy that does drugs. What he's got to do is stop doing drug cocktails, and chasing it with cheap liquor. Because that's the rantings and ravings of a madman. The Giants currently own the 3rd overall pick, while the Niners selected number 11. Of course they'd love to move up to number 3. Of course they'd like to have an additional first-round pick. If you're the Giants, would you do that deal? All right, Carton's just seeking attention. I mean, he got it. The criticism from both fan bases was severe, fam. The Giants fans have been suffering for how many years? When did Eli Manning retire? And even during that time, they weren't having a good time. So with that atmosphere not appearing to end anytime soon, now entertain such a deal that could easily mortgage their future for a quarterback they would need to sign to also he's looking for a deal, Carton. So how is this benefiting? I mean, it's not the Giants, if they do this, 49ers might should think about it. But that's suicide. And the owner would have to fire not only everybody in the place, but himself as well. $50 to $60 million, pay him, give us all your first-round picks for the future so you don't have one. Carton, you're actually one of those dudes that do need to quit your daytime job. The hell are you talking about? Meanwhile, the Niners would be giving up their 25-year-old quarterback for 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, whose future in the NFL remains extremely uncertain. Aaron's probably on his way to that dark place that he likes to go to, even as we speak. He already been over to Pittsburgh and pissed off everybody, saying things like, "Oh, I need to think about this." What's that, Ironhead? Ironhead said some bad things about it. He's come back to apologize. If you don't be, I mean, I laughed at it. What do you need to think about if you either want to be a Steeler or you don't? There's also no guarantee Rodgers would sign with the Niners, especially after the team just parted ways with several key players this particular offseason. Just a few days ago, actually, Aaron wants to go where he can feel comfortable about a shot at championship glory. Carton, you just did that. You didn't even believe that, man. You said that, didn't you? The hell is wrong with you? Hey, fan reactions are hilarious. So Giants fans thumbs down, of course, on the idea, questioning Purdy's long-term value and not even interested in the potential payday. Niner fans. On a recent survey, surprisingly enough, the majority of us had no interest in reviving Rodgers to San Francisco, which kind of surprised me, actually. But our base, down through the years, I thought we've always been around 50-50. Everybody, every year, as soon as the season ends, let's get Aaron Rodgers. For what? Aaron Rodgers came from a nice team with the Jets. Even before that, Aaron Rodgers, we was whooping Aaron Rodgers. Has Jimmy Garoppolo ever lost to Aaron Rodgers? We was beating Aaron Rodgers' ass every year. Every year in the playoffs. Now, why would we bring that over? I guess, well, in this case, since it's us beating him up, nobody else can. The Bucs did too. So, many would rather stick with Purdy than entertain such a dramatic shift at the most important position on the team. You know what I'm going to do? Let me go get those fan reactions because I was so amused. I should have got those already. But this is something I want to. I got a kick out of it because a lot of them represent us. I mean, let me just give you a second here, because I was reading, but I was laughing out loud. Actually, bro, that's what I'm talking about. What the WTF, man? Are you serious? Wait. Where is that? Where did I put that? Because fam, I mean, I could just get your reaction on this and let this go. But I just want to see one more. Oh, here it is. Get in here. Yeah, let's go. God. Every time I looked at it, I thought about, when you get on Instagram and you get that laugh track in the background, and all I could hear was that. I said, really? Are you kidding me? Anyway, Mr. Controversy himself, I pray for the day that Rodgers retires, so the Rodgers San Francisco theory can die the death it deserves. We had one shot to get him. We picked Smith instead. It happened. Move on. Oh, Gunner, I'll say no. WTF? The guy is bleeping old and washed. Get over him already. Damn. Chad Log, I don't want Aaron Rodgers San Francisco, plain and simple. Cap, Purdy is worth 3 first round, but not a new contract. Make it make sense. Casey Turman, not even being discussed. Neither team would do this. Mr. G, Rodgers washed and Purdy is the future. So, is Big Show in the house? I thought I saw his name. Big Show, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Harold the Couch, hey, Harold, $5 for Trey Lance. Gotta nail the trap, hit the thumbs up. I saw a Doom message or article. Trey's still waiting for a team to pick him up. He's just out there. Poor kid. I feel sorry for Trey. He never really got a legitimate shot to prove what he can do. But it's not looking good right now. He's not going to be picked at a starter, but if somebody just go ahead and pick him up and work with him, see what you can do. Oh, I just said Harold. I thought I said Harold McLeod. Harold, you heard me say Harold McAllister, right? Thanks, Harold. Yeah. All right. Let us go to your reaction, fam, to, first of all, getting the Giants involved in a deal. This is so fantasy. 3, not 1, not 2, 3. 3 picks. First round, not second or third. First round picks and send it to New York. Meanwhile, we go tell Aaron, we got an opening, babe. You've been wanting to come to California. You've always wanted to be a 49er. Come get some.
Who are you talking about?
It's another thing. Production says, hey, don't forget to mention Robert Salas here. Why would Aaron Rodgers come here? I didn't even think about that. Matty, get in here. Oh, by the way, tonight.
Yeah, we don't need Aaron Rodgers.
No, I know. Matty, what are some of the? Have you thought about some of the reasons why in the world that Aaron Rodgers And also, would the Giants entertain anything of giving up three? Not one, two, three. Three picks, first rounders for Brock. I like Brock, but I'm not sure if he's worth that. Is he? Maybe one or two.
They're going to give up that many picks, but what are you going to get for those picks, though?
Hey.
You
get one this year, so the 49ers would have two, right? No, well, let's see. No, they've only got one. We trade their pick.
Crazy.
We go to number 3, and for the next 2 years, we got an added first round pick.
That's crazy to think. Like, that's unheard of.
I know, right? Actually, if the Giants offered that, the 49ers would actually entertain that thought. You know they would.
Be dumb not to entertain it, in my opinion.
Actually,
as much as I love Brock.
Yeah, I know. Ooh.
Tough, dude. That's tough business decisions, my friend. And it's like, at that rate, you almost have to kind of look at somebody like Aaron Rodgers and see if you can get one last hoorah out of him. You got to make him a deal. Be like, hey, listen here, motherfucker. if you're gonna come be a 49er, you're gonna do the training camp. You're gonna come to all the OTAs. You're gonna do all the things, and you're gonna get chemistry with the dudes. Yeah. You're not playing this. I'm a veteran, and I'm sitting out until day one. No, I'm not playing that shit.
Yeah, and make him sign an affidavit. I will sue your ass.
Yeah.
Aaron. Yeah.
So, like he can still play football, but you know what? You gotta. I don't know. I don't even think the dudes that played with him when the Jets even liked him.
Oh, you heard some of the players. Garrettson, what's that primetime receiver they had, the youngster they had last year? He said if Aaron's coming back, trade me now. Now, what kind of rage? Yeah,
So.
What?
That's crazy. Who says that? Unless they really mean it.
I mean, I've never heard of a receiver going that far. Well, you know what?
That's crazy.
Devondre Campbell said that, though. Devontae said that before he left the Raiders. Him and Jimmy didn't get along for 5 minutes. So, and Devontae's over in the Rams now, and Jimmy's over there. Can you imagine Jimmy picking him up at the airport? Hey, Devontae, how you doing, man? Man, what you doing? What you doing here, man? Yeah, I'm the Rams' backup, as you didn't know. You serious?
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness!
They got to do a video and put it up on the social media so everybody can see that one. But yeah, okay.
That's good stuff.
We're not gonna. It's just a deal. Why does Brock Purdy infuriate so many analysts and writers? All these shows that come on, everybody talks about Brock Purdy like he's a third or fourth class citizen. I'm not. I'm looking at numbers and things.
They really
like that.
do.
Yeah, and I see other quarterbacks that aren't doing as well as Brock. They're not getting any of the vitriol that Brock gets. Where is that stemming from? Is it from this last season only, or is that more?
Well, like they love Joe Burrow too. Like I always say, what have you done for me lately, man? Like that dude hasn't done shit.
Man, he's got paid a fortune.
Yeah. Dak doesn't do shit.
Oh, he is the poster child for robbery. I mean, you could take him to court and bring him up on charges. Grand theft.
Detroit versus every
nobody. No, never.
So it's beyond imagination why everybody takes
Detroit smells like every booty.
So go ahead, continue, Matty.
No, I guess really, we come full circle. I mean, it's just, I don't know. We just, do we give up Brock for that kind of payday, and then you got to figure out what you're going to do for a quarterback. Because still not convinced Aaron Rodgers is the key. So, you're not convincing me anything.
No.
Huh?
In fact, if you got the number 3 pick now, do you do Shador? Do you do the other guy that's supposedly better than Shador?
Nope.
Do you look at the Ole Miss quarterback that all of a sudden getting a lot of love from a lot of people?
I don't
That
know.
means we
I still
start
say
all
he's
over.
trying to find a way to get C.J. Stroud.
We have Mac Jones in camp, and a lot of
Yeah.
people with conspiracy theories on their mind have woven a plot. Mike Florio's not.
my-
But,
yeah.
you trade Brock for 3. Mac Jones is now your assumed starter. He's got experience. You do draft a kid to see if next year he looks like he could seat Mac Jones. And you create the madness we've had down through the years with the 49ers in each and every offseason with quarterback controversies. I mean, up until last year, was it last year or was it the year before? How many years has Purdy been our starter and it's been confirmed? 2 years now?
2.5,
Yeah.
2 full seasons.
Right? So now you go back
Half
to
a
that
season.
madness before. Every year, arguing and screaming and fighting about who's going to start and who doesn't like who. And, it becomes that mess again.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a mess, and it's a huge, it's a huge risk, I guess, for lack of a better word. I mean,
It is.
if you go trading him off,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a reason why Mac Jones isn't sticking around in a certain team. What was he? He was drafted wasn't he a Patriot?
Yeah. And I think he was picked at number somewhere between 11 and 13.
He was
Yeah.
definitely a first-round pick.
Yeah. And the thing is, if he was on Kyle's mind, we could have kept our first-round picks. We could have got Mac Jones if he always wanted him, like he said he did. He said, I was torn between Mac Jones and Trey Lance, and at the end of the day, I picked Trey Lance. And then and when people said Kyle was interested in Mac Jones, I said, no, he's not. It's either Justin Fields or Trey Lance. Come on. And then he admitted to it. Remember
Yeah,
that?
Justin Fields would have been a better pick. I think Justin Fields would have done better under Kyle Shanahan than when he went over to the Bears. It would have been a better pick.
Yeah, where quarterbacks go to die. Anyway,
Oh, 100%.
Chicago's just
Yep,
really
I agree.
so.
That sucks.
Well, Manny, I
I don't know.
I gotta get out of here tonight and go to
Go to the
bed.
game?
Got at 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
5 a.m. waking up. So let me see you. You know what? I might have to miss the rest of the week. I got some terrible things I can't get away from. Friday, I'll be back though, Manny. Looking for you, okay?
That's gonna be a long week, man. We'll have a lot to talk about.
I'm gonna try to get back in it, but it looks bad. But I'll do my best, Manny, because I'm gonna miss you too, and you know this. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right, fam.
All right, buddy. Well, if nothing else, we'll see you Friday, fam.
Looking forward to it. All right, Matty.
Night, buddy. Night, buddy.
Night. And by the way, fam, you know what? We're going to have to go into 5-minute windows because we can't do 4 hours tonight. I got to go to bed at 10:30. I'll be getting up crying in the shower, doing what I do when I got to wake up early. I'll leave the phone in the shower so Wifey can call me and let me know I got to come out of there and go, hey, Smooth. Come on in, Smooth.
Hey, Ronbo.
Smooth. Oh, man.
Ronbo?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You
Come
hear
on
me?
in, babe. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Been thinking about you and
I appreciate that.
and wondering why in the world does all that happen to one good person.
Yeah. Yeah, my auntie adopted her and took her. So she's in Waco, Texas.
Oh,
So
I bet
Yeah.
I bet she's a great person. I bet the little girl's in great hands.
yep. Oh yeah. She'll be raised in church and everything. So so with they wanted to take the pressure off of me, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I just went through my thing.
Yes.
But I would have did it. I still would have did it though.
I believe you too.
That's blood, and just have the service like 4 days ago. So,
Oh man.
yep. But they the rest of the kids there's in counseling and everything. So
Ooh.
I'm still doing that with them. They're out here. They're still in school out here. So doing counseling with them. I'm doing counseling with them three days a week.
Oh, that's the devastation that has to be dealt with.
And And then, so the best thing for me to do, is just keep doing what I'm doing. Don't let it slow me down and stop me because it's out of my hand now. So she's in heaven. So and baby's in a better place with family. So everything's good. So yeah. But getting back to this Niners, and I want shout out to the faithful too.
Yeah.
For all the prayers. Yeah, that's my family. Yeah.
Yes, you better believe it. Always here for you, fam. Always here for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I was telling you about a month or so ago that Brock Purdy will be getting traded. My friend was telling me, say, Lee, I'll be surprised they trade Brock.
This.
And then it's coming because look, I'm sitting back and looking at everything. I'll take one thing and just run with it. It's like a puzzle. I put things together where it makes sense. So I'm thinking, I was just thinking, and everything. I was like, dang, they get Mac, which Shanahan wanted him. Then I look at Mac's situation with New England because they had a defensive coordinator as a head coach. So that messed him up in New England. Then he went somewhere else. They was messed up. Now he come here because you see what Donald turned out to be, with Shanahan and Brock, and him and Mac and Brock is homies. So when people come out and try to make them against each other and all that,
ain't happening.
Man, man, y'all don't listen to that. It's not even true. I got facts, bro. I got nothing but facts, man. They're buddies, they're friends. They talked even before he came to the Niners. There was roommates when Brock went to Alabama. When he went to Alabama, then Saban didn't want him, so he went to Arkansas. So, I mean,
Iowa.
It is what it is. But three first round picks. If the Giants want to do that, people say that's crazy. I've seen crazier things when Mike Dickens sold his whole 11 picks, all 10 of his picks, his whole draft for Ricky Williams that time. So,
was that the number? And Ricky Williams got Mike put out the NFL.
And he came in and they did a press conference. He was in the wedding dress. Remember that shit?
Yes. God.
I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I thought it was a reefer I was smoking. I had to look at it.
And you had to do one after it anyway. God, see.
Oh man, it feels good to laugh, man. It feels good to laugh. It feels good. But don't be surprised, man. You remember Lynch said? He said, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he said something similar to, like, don't worry, like we got a good plan, a big plan. He said that, so similar to that, he said they got a good plan, so like don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when we lost Greenlaw, I'm telling you, man, y'all shouldn't even panic. Rob was solid. He already know what linebacker he want. We're gonna be good. But if I'm saying if the Giants do that and they want Brock, you already know who gonna go get. You know who gonna go get, right?
No.
They fit the system and everything. Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders gonna be our quarterback.
I thought about that.
I'm telling you.
But
yeah,
hey.
I'm gonna tell you if this goes through, the Giants do that crazy ass move for Brock. He fit him. I'm looking at the quarterbacks who fit. I'm looking at all the quarterbacks, even the ones that's not in the top 5. I'm saying who fit his system. I'm looking at that system he ran in Colorado. I'm looking at that system when he ran with his first team in Jackson State. The same. It's similar, man. It's similar. And he can do it. He's not. Huh? Go ahead.
You save a lot of money too. A lot of money.
Save a lot of money. $50 million this year, and it's falling over to the other 50. 100. We got $100 million in 2026.
And 2 first-round picks coming up, and you got the number. Oh,
then that's when Jed go open up his pocket a little bit because now he know he'll pay a ransom for a top quarterback. Those $60 million. He got Shador on the 4-year rookie deal.
And go get that edge rusher out of Cincinnati, right? Smooth, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Hey, Smooth, you know I'm delighted though. You, this is what you need. Get you back into this situation where you're talking about the things you love to talk about, and it'll heal you up, man.
Yep.
We're and oh, by
The
the way,
faster, the more I talk about. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Smooth 49 Brian says, "Smooth's head up, player. Nothing but love, brah."
That's my dog right there. That's my dog. Brian been there since day one. Ever since we're going through my thing. Everybody have.
Yeah.
But Brian, he's been reaching out to me. Love you, brother. Love all of y'all.
Yeah,
thank you. So I'm back. I'm just taking one day at a time, So the more I get more involved, my steady routine like I had before, the better I'll be, and I'll be back. So I know that. I pray that I thank for all the prayers, and everything. So. Thank you for being by my side once again in these trying times, man. Crisis. Wow, it's hard.
We'll continue through the strength of us all together, Smooth. We're going to pull you through this too. All right, man. I'll see you this weekend.
Okay, brother. Okay, when you be back again?
I think I might not be back till Friday.
Friday? Okay. That'll give me more time to myself. Okay, I appreciate you, brother. I love you, bro.
I appreciate you and love you back, fam.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
There he is, Smooth. What a courageous individual. A lot of us would have just crashed and burned. All what's happened to him? Ooh, that is on one person, all this. Hey, and we go down to Tennessee. There he is. He is the king of the clan. He is the big bad dragon. He is Papa Dragon. Pop, get in there, brah.
Let's get ready to Ronbo. What's up, Ronbo?
Pop, man, it's like,
all right.
Pop, it's like, we're sitting up here looking. The Walt Disney people are going to get busy. You knew they would as soon as the season ended on us, because we had a season like we had following a Super Bowl that we didn't win, right? If I'm a writer and I ain't a 49er fan, I'd be going buck wild on us. But I'm not, and I'm sitting there fielding this BS, and I'm saying, but you know what? Smooth just led a little bit of credence into why things may be actually possibly moving in that direction. If Brock does go a little weird, would the 49ers make a look, Brock, we're going to have to we may have to take another route on this. If you're not going to accept this contract, which is all we're able to do, we're going to have to find Plan B to go into. And well, here, you shed some light on this. And Aaron Rodgers, I want to know, Pop, are you still an Aaron Rodgers fan if you ever were?
I'm a fan of football and football talent.
Yeah.
Most of these guys, I'm not a fan of what they do off the field. When they get in front of a microphone and start, talking and
exposing their personalities,
putting on their MAGA hats and stuff like that. To me, if you keep it 100 on the football, if you got a good approachable personality, you do a lot in your communities, I got a lot of respect for all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I think the reality of the football business is that most people don't get better when they get older. Most people don't. Most people get worse.
Ain't that the truth?
It's just the reality of life. There's like a very small amount of players that actually get better as they play. I also truly believe that Aaron Rodgers doesn't need to be 100% Aaron Rodgers to beat out Brock Purdy. I just don't think he can beat Brock Purdy out in the leadership department or locker room department.
Well,
so especially you have Salah there, things like that. I think it's going to be a very interesting year for Kyle Shanahan. And I think a big part of it is do what you have to do to elevate whoever's at quarterback, whether it be Brock or not. Now, make no mistake about it. I think you have some fans who believe that Brock is elite. People like Lombardi, he's been saying Brock's been elite since like his 6th game starting. And I try to explain to people, Joe Montana wasn't Joe Montana for 3 or 4 years. Around year 6 or 7, he was Joe. He was cool Joe. So it is pretty cool that some players can ascend to that very quickly.
Yeah.
But to me,
Fam, trivia question: who was Joe competing with initially to be the starting quarterback?
I know the name. I think it was Craig. He was behind Craig.
Well, the thing is, he's the coach of the same team that Debo came from.
Who that? Who was it?
And I'm trying to think. Debo came from what school again?
Was it? No, not Craig. It was DeBerg.
Yes, Chris.
Yeah, it was DeBerg.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Shador reminds me a lot of Joe. Their games are very similar as far as like the situational aspects of it.
Yeah.
But what I don't know about Shador is, it's like I say, there's this whole off the field thing that to me usually concerns me more than anything else when it comes to football players.
Because of his dad?
But at the same time, I do think his head's screwed on right because of who his dad is. Because, we all felt really weird about Deion because of his off the field antics. but a lot of that for Deion was just his big act, his big creation of trying to survive in the celebrity space. So personally, I don't care.
Individual.
Yeah. Personally, I don't care. I just think that there would have to be a paradigm shift. If you bring in someone like Rodgers, now you're forced to build up your offensive line and your running game. And the 49ers were better when they were built more like the Eagles, where they had a good offensive line, a good defensive line, and they ran the ball. So if they get back to that, then yeah, I think that they'll be fine. No matter who the quarterback is. Like I say, I like Brock, but the problem I have with Brock is I don't think there's anybody like in Baltimore questioning whether or not Lamar Jackson is elite franchise quarterback. Same thing with, Josh Allen, etc. And there's always been questions about Brock, and rightfully so, because again, when you look at the film and the ball comes out of his hands, it don't look special. So yeah, if someone comes waving some picks at me for Brock, I definitely have to consider it, because that's the business of it. And it's the same thing if Aaron Rodgers comes in. If he can play the spot, it's about business, right? So even I would have to say, Salah would have to suck up and say, hey, this is about business and this is about winning. I'm sure he can, tell Kyle what to watch out for and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we all know that the true quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers is Kyle Shanahan. That's why his quarterbacks don't call audibles or change plays or change routes on the fly. You have to do what he says. And right now, it appears that Mac Jones is ready to play Kyle's game. What to do, boss?
He fully understands, doesn't he? Yeah.
He fully understands. He's not a fool. So, yeah, I think that even if Mac wound up being a dude, I think Mac would have his best year. Because that's what Shanahan elevates quarterbacks. Period. That's what he does. You put anybody in his system, he's going to elevate them. So long as that back foot hits and the ball comes out. That's the key in this system. Back foot comes out, ball has to go where it's supposed to go. If you do that, you'll be all right. Because we've seen, Mullins over 16 games be the highest ranked passer in NFL history. And that was Nick Mullins.
That was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was Nick Mullins, man. So it's like there's a lot of faith there, but at the same time, in the NFL, especially when you get to those playoffs, defensive coordinators are all about busting the system, and they typically bust Shanahan's system, and he doesn't have any answers. So I think for Shanahan, he's got he's the one that really needs to change, or he needs to be changed, in my opinion, because I still think that you don't. He has been in the lead of 3 Super Bowls that he was running the offense for and lost all 3 Super Bowls, all of them. And each time it's been a little bit by a little bit. And maybe the next one he wins it by a field goal or a couple of points. But it's still there's some of the decision making that he makes doesn't make sense. And he's not the kind of coach that can draw a play up on the dirt or his quarterback
makes
comes like, hey,
changes.
Coach,
if
coach,
we didn't go over it during the week,
we need to run that. You know what I mean? And then he's yelling at somebody for throwing a touchdown because they didn't go to the right spot. That's what
that's it. Kyle's got to stop that.
Come on.
Bob, we gotta pump the brake off. Good stuff as usual, always in depth and deep. But I gotta go because I gotta go to bed here. But listen, Friday I'll be
I
back.
gotta go to bed.
I
All right,
do. I
Ron.
gotta get up crazy early, so we can't go
All right,
long
well,
tonight.
well,
But
Ronbo, shout out to you, sir. Shout out to you in
thanks,
production and big show. Jalen, Tony down there, totally over in Hawaii. Trey, Smooth, good to hear you, and good to hear you getting strong. And
yeah,
you're very inspirational, Smooth. A lot of bad shit happens
isn't
to you,
he?
and you just keep going right along, juggernaut. We got Ellis, Sharon's mom, Evan, Allen, Jack, Maddie, the dark one, Fish Sandwich, Frank, my boy Emilio, that beautiful bastard Niner Brian. Glad you're out of the snow, brother.
Hey, that's
Uh,
right. Brian's out of
yeah,
the
Donut
snow. Okay.
Tanisha. Yeah, he's out of the snow. He's around. He's another one of those. He's another one of those tough dudes that just gets through it. So you guys all, man, take it easy. Take care. Like I said, not a down of football has been played yet. We shall see what happens with this last place schedule. Should be a pretty exciting season. Don't let the drama get to you, boys. Nothing you can do about it anyway. And hey,
True.
worst case scenario, if the Niners do suck, man, we got a couple other football teams we can cheer for. It's Ask Jet York. Yeah.
We'll all become English. All right. Hey, I'll see you Friday, fam.
All right, man.
Nice. Bye, Pop. Give my best to the family. Yeah, Manny, I picture you, Manny. Manny sitting there, snow's just blinding him. His windshield wipers aren't making any difference. Manny pulls out his snow shoes, throws them out on the snow, gets on there. Better yet, he becomes a cross-country skier, making his way back home. And look at this. Who is that? That's got to be Brian. Go, Brian. Aaron! Come on in there. Triple A.
What's up, Ronbo?
Triple A, man, we're again, as 49er fans, we're targets every year for a lot of unusual things. As you know, Aaron Rodgers has been coming to San Francisco for the better part of a decade, each and every offseason. Why? Because he hasn't been winning anything either. And so he'd be better placed in San Francisco where he should win something. Also, 3 first-round picks from the Giants is out there. Smooth has got confirmation that it really does exist, that the 49ers could actually pull the trigger on such a trade. And I'm collecting thoughts tonight on true or false, or all of it. Or what are you thinking?
I mean, first of all, for the one that say, for the one saying trade Brock Purdy for 3 first-round picks, I mean, I can understand
it's
why
okay.
they want.
You got to do it, right? I mean, 3 first-round picks, you almost have to do it. There's no quarterback in the league that you should not trade for 3 first-round picks. There really isn't. But go ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think you have to think about George Kittle. He's been all through like 4 or 5 quarterbacks through his career.
At least, yes.
Do you
From the beginning till
do
now,
you really
right.
want? Yeah, like he and Brock has that connection, like Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey. So I don't know. They,
I see, because the 49ers are always telling people how they'll entertain any trade that's going to make them better, or everybody's actually expendable. They've been saying that for a long time, and actually there's been occasions where they have proven that. So if the Giants are thinking about parting with three first-round picks, if I had to make a bet as to whether Kyle and John would do that, I'd probably believe they would. Although, that's suicide for the Giants. That is absolute a death nail in a coffin that's already got a nail or two away from being closed. Giants they cannot go any further down than they are right now. They are the worst team on the East Coast, bar none. So, I can't imagine it.
Yeah, I doubt they trade Purdy, but I mean, if they do, then I think players like Tree Williams and Kittle might be a little pissed.
I thought because they see the instability to bring in. Maybe they might trust Mac Jones. He's had a little while in the league, but to go get Shador or whomever else that they might actually think will work, because Kyle's not like everybody. Now, Pop pulled out Shador's name, and so did Smooth. But what if Kyle's looking at somebody else in a second or third round? Because this is Kyle's mindset. He's going to go get the kid that he thinks will be cooperative, that isn't so headstrong, but he's got to be sharp. There's a checklist for Kyle as far as quarterbacks go. And if you don't check all the boxes, you could be the baddest dude. I mean, you could be really good. Nah, it doesn't fit my system. That's Kyle. So, he ain't coming to San Francisco, and then everybody will be mad as hell again. But whoever he gets, after about a year, 6 months or whatever, all of a sudden you'll see why Kyle did it. You won't understand it at first, but, yeah.
But yeah, and and I mean, Purdy and Pearsall are supposed to get together for the offseason to get that chemistry going. So,
Brock's a worker, no matter what. I mean,
yeah.
And I still don't have a problem with Brock. People talk about his arm strength and a lot of other things. I really, I look at his INT rate and things like that. I don't see his arm strength being a huge issue. Some people think, well, he's missing out on plays that he could make if he had a more powerful arm. I say, yeah. Probably said the same thing about Joe. And I'm not saying Joe and Jump is one and the same. Quarterbacks usually win games on intelligence and reflexes more than they do strong arms. Because if that be the case, Josh Allen would have 4 or 5 trophies already. Who else has a cannon? The quarterback in with the Chargers. These guys all got shotguns. They're getting their ass handed to them every year. So it's not always about talent. It's about cerebral. With the quarterback, he's got to be smart.
Right. I mean, like, for example, like, look at, for example, like, Drew Brees was, like, he didn't have, like, the biggest arm, but he was
but his
hell of a
accuracy
quarterback.
was scary, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Burrows. Joe Burrows has got 2 of the best receivers in football. And you know what's so funny about Joe?
Yeah.
Burrows, they put up points every week, though. It's the ownership in Cincinnati. There are other teams that should be in the hunt or in the NFCCG every year, right there with Patrick. They need a defense really badly. So it's always something.
Yeah. But, as far as for Aaron Rodgers, for me, no thank you, because I don't want that cancer in my locker room.
That's another thing. People, that's a lot of points. You can't be having everybody in the locker room hating that ass. You can't do it. It's not going to work. So.
Yeah, and I think last season, was it like during OTAs, and he wasn't there because he went out of town. I think he went to Egypt or something like that.
Yeah, he was in the Middle East.
Yeah.
That's
so. I mean, I don't know.
And I do. I would have sent Aaron a note while he was in Egypt. How you enjoying Egypt? Listen, you might as well stay there for as long as you like. We're going to move on. We're rounding up papers right now. Aaron, I don't know who you think this is, but I'm not going to put up with this. I'm trying to run a football team here, and you're doing everything you can to disrupt. Well, the wrong attitude. I mean, I got guys running around the locker room thinking they're on their way to someplace too because of you. That would just ruin everything. No, that's not the way you build a football team. I don't care how good he is. Oh yeah.
I mean, like, if he was like playing in his prime back then, yeah, I would take the last.
You put up with all that, even so, yeah. He wasn't like this bad back then, though, when he was in his prime. Aaron was more focused and more serious. And now he's kind of a jerk. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, Friday, be back looking for you. And let's see because a lot can happen in the next 5 days. It could be fun. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Ronbo, give me another shout out.
Yeah. Another! All right, fam. Have a great night.
You too, fam.
Thanks, fam. Yeah. You see Coach Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers. Actually, Tomlin, he's had a lot of head cases I didn't know about until they exposed some truths here recently. We already know about AB, but my God, he's had some other guys too. And that youngest receiver he's got, Pickens is bleeped up. I didn't even know it until he said, but Tom is good at keeping that stuff in the house, so you don't really know about it. Hey, yo, Steven.
What's up, Ronbo?
Man, we're getting 3 first-round picks from the Giants. We're going to bring Aaron Rodgers over here, and we're on our way to the Super Bowl. These are the things that, you can make movies out of. Steven.
Man, we got to let go of that.
Yeah, well.
That's done. That's done and over with. We had the opportunity to grab him in the draft, and we passed up on him for Alex Smith.
That's the fact.
So it is what it is. You can't hate the past. You can only try to live through it and not make the same mistake twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, we're fine with what we got. I don't agree with a lot of things that some of the callers said. I'm glad Smooth is doing a little bit better, but one of the things I disagree with is Shedeur Sanders. You know my take on Shedeur Sanders. I watched him play in college. He had enough talent to actually win a game, and he still couldn't do it. He got his ass whooped. His tree gets shaken up a lot easy. Not only that, but then on top of that, I don't agree with trading Brock Purdy for 3 draft picks because even though we got Mac Jones, I still don't see a possibility of Mac Jones ever doing really good with the 49ers. And it's not just me being, a hater. That's just fact. He plays a lot different than Brock. Brock is very he can scramble when he needs to, but he follows everything to a T, as where Mac Jones kind of wants to do his own thing. And you could see that kind of mentality with the Patriots and with Alabama. He didn't really follow everything by the book. He's a lot stronger than Brock. Yeah, Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones didn't he come from Bama. Yeah, didn't he come?
Yeah,
from
no,
Bama?
I mean, was with Saban. He was like defying the legendary Saban, but he got the job done, I guess. So I guess, yeah, well.
Yeah, he got the job done, and that's the main thing. If you get the job done, it doesn't matter if you call the shots or not, just so long as you get it done. You know what I mean?
You don't fail. Yeah.
And in my honest opinion, we're okay with Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy gets it done and he does it pretty damn well. Even on his lowest games and his lowest season, he only had 5 interceptions last year, if I'm mistaken, about 5, and then a majority of those 5 weren't even really his fault because they bounced off the receiver's hands or because the receiver got smacked and let go of the ball.
Yeah. I'm still, Steven, show me a quarterback that loses a lot of his offensive weapons, has an offensive line that if you didn't get that ball out within 2 seconds, he will be killed. If we got an example of what that looks like with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in a Super Bowl. That applies to everybody in the league that calls himself a quarterback. You've got to protect your quarterback at least a little bit and take all his best wide receivers. Oh, come on, man. I'm not grading him on this.
Well, you also got to remember, too, defensive linemen aren't good for the long run. They're good for that short burst. So if they can break through that offensive line in that short burst, you're looking at a man who weighs, 250, about almost 300, coming at you at,
265, 70, up and up, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you see them coming at you full of muscle, and they're coming at, the speed of 4.5, 4.5 seconds.
Impact
and you have
weight times speed. So that guy's coming at 275, and even the speed you just gave, that's like getting hit with 400 or 500 pounds of pressure. No quarterback can take that all day.
Exactly, and that's what I was kind of going to go back to what we spoke to about last call, where I was like, would you rather get hit by a truck, a car, or Myles Garrett? And I'm pretty sure I would rather get hit by a truck and a car, because at least that's one time, and they can't come back faster going in reverse, as where Myles Garrett could come at you at the same speed from all directions.
And mangle you up on the way down, because Garrett doesn't just grab a man. All those guys that are nasty like that. The Raider, there's a couple other DEs in the league. They take you down and they're pulling on things and they're trying to take you down when you hit the ground and snaps your shoulder. If you see the technique those guys are using, some of it ought to be outlawed. But actually, the league has already put a lot of laws in place for sacking the quarterback. You can't fall on them anymore, and there's other things. But they used to be vicious, and now they've come down, and they're still dangerous, though. Quarterbacks can't take all that all day long.
It's still very.
You gotta have an offensive line.
You get hit, Ronbo. You still get hit. It don't matter. You get hit. You get hit. You're not gonna lessen the blow. If I'm coming at you at full speed, at a jump, I'm gonna plan on hitting you, and I'm gonna smear you on the ground. Yeah. Granted, I can't fall on top of you, but I think that's kind of stupid. Because if you got to divert your body weight by the speed of how fast you're going, you're going to hurt the player and yourself no matter what. Yeah. I think that's where the league is getting it wrong. You're looking at other, let's say for instance, you're looking at rugby. They don't say, oh yeah, you can't tackle this way, you can't do this kind of tackle. Granted, yes, horse collar, that's a bad one. Face mask is a bad one. But if I'm taking you down, I have to fall on you. One of us is going down. And unfortunately, if I fall on top of you, that's just the bricks, bro. You gotta, that's just how it is.
It's like judo.
But if you try to prevent someone from falling on top of you, and that person now has to take extra precaution on not falling on top of you, now you're gonna get injured a little bit worse, because all that momentum, all that direction is gonna get diverted to whoever else is gonna take the brunt of the blow, and that's where a lot of ACL injuries happen. That's where a lot of ankle injuries happen. Granted, unless you're Tua Tagovailoa, who likes to lead with his head in every down he takes, but there's nothing else you can really do. It's a physical contact sport. I'm not saying go back to where people can drop kick each other, or how Burfict laid out Antonio Brown, or how Shazier likes to lead with his head. Yeah. Don't go back to that, but let the players play. Is what I'm saying. Let them play. And I guarantee you'll see a lot less injuries.
I agree. Steve, we got to go. I'm going to tell you what, I do have to pull out early tonight, but listen, see you Friday, and let's see what develops between now and then.
I guarantee you Brock Purdy will go take probably, a $45 million contract? $45 million just because he wants that talent around him?
Maybe. I'm not sure what his agent's going to. His agent's the problem. If there's an argument going on between Brock and his agent, Brock probably would be fine with 45. Hell, he hasn't seen that much money and anything close to it the last 4 years. So 45 is nothing wrong with that. They'll probably give him, I think they'll bottom out at 50. We'll see.
Yeah. And that's probably where they're going to have to stand. Granted, he has to play his rookie contract, the rest of his rookie contract, if he declines.
Yeah,
because if he doesn't, he's only hurting himself.
Yeah, the hit doesn't start till next year. So, yeah. All right, fam. Good stuff, always. I'll see you Friday.
I'll see you Friday, Ronbo. You have a great night. I'll talk to you Friday.
Oh, God. Apollo Crews, you're going to compare what goes on in Miami with the receiving core they got, a Waddle and Cheetah? Seriously? Seriously? These are the things I talk about when people take shots at Brock Purdy. That is a weak argument. I don't get it. But, if you're going to hate on a quarterback, come with something substantial. All right? Because Apollo Crews, that's weak. That is seriously weak. We can compare that with a lot of quarterbacks around the league. If you look at every quarterback, and a lot of guys have more air game than they do run game, then obviously you're going to have that kind of a comparison. I imagine that, and you look at last year, Lamar Jackson had more touchdowns than usual. But Lamar Jackson is he's still hanging out with the 49ers, losing to the Chiefs. It's all relevant. Hey. Lorenzo.
What's happening, Ronbo?
Lorenzo, we're the target of comical writers again this year. Carton.
Who the hell said that? Yeah.
Yes, Carton. Carton's got a video on. He's got a show on, and Carton's came in and said, Giants, give the Giants, they'll give you 3 first-round picks for Brock Purdy, and you guys can pick up Aaron Rodgers. And listen, don't thank me for my deal. I said, Carton, what do you? Don't thank you? Stop. What kind of stuff? And Stephen A. Smith said, stay off that weed. It's not going to happen. And I said, who would do that deal? Now, if it happens, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring a crow in here and I'm going to kill him live and I'll eat him right here in front of everybody. But, I mean, some of the things of science fiction that comes on with the 49ers, we draw that kind of thing every year. But do you want Aaron Rodgers on this team still? Do the Giants make that kind of a deal, or is that science fiction?
That's just stupid. I haven't even heard anything about that. I don't know. I don't listen to them. I don't listen to like Khan or any of those other fools. It's. I like to listen when they say, oh, yeah, when somebody, like when John Lynch speaks or something, I don't want somebody's interpretation of what he said, if I can hear that shit myself, come up with they try to get too far into it. But I'm happy with Brock, as long as he, but I don't know what he's going to get. I'll guess he probably get about 52, 54, somewhere in there, if he's smart, I mean, that's a lot of money, man.
I don't think he's going to really want 60, though. People think that Brock's going to hold it out his hand to wipe the team out. I don't see him. He doesn't seem that type.
I mean, it's like, the common sense has got to rule somewhere, It's kind of like, like kind of like that, what we went through the past 4 years, common sense has got to take over some damn where, Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid, but I don't know. I like Brock. I think he's a good quarterback, and, we've had some terrible ones. And Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he would have done any better than Alex Smith, I mean, not the way Alex Smith was treated, he was, God, he felt sorry for that guy.
He had a different OC to start with almost every year, right?
7 years, 7 times. One guy, it was crazy. Every year he had a different OC, different fucking, it was a stupid. Every year he changed, systems,
Yeah.
And then he had that shitty team around him too,
And then see, people don't. Yeah. That's why when I get a kick out of people spotlighting the quarterback for everything that's wrong with the team, but you look at the situation around him. How the hell is he supposed to do well with all that going on? It's not. You can bring anybody else you want in. Keep switching quarterbacks all you want to.
That's where.
Yeah, it's not going
to change. Because that's where I think Harbaugh fucked up. He should have put Alex Smith back in for that, to finish off that year. We'd have won the Super Bowl that year. Because Cap, he could run, but he was a gadget quarterback. He didn't really have the smarts, Yeah. And Alex Smith was on that year. Remember when he got hurt? He was like 21 of 22 or something, 20 or 21. He was at 95%.
I agree. I never had any problem with Alex Smith. He got hurt. Cap came in and he made a dazzling impression right away, and I got caught up in it. I was like, whoa, this dude, man. But honestly, you're right. In the league, as it was changing at that time, the quarterback needs to be a little more accurate, and he's got to be able to think quickly. Because Cap was one read and go, or if it wasn't read, he's gone. Yeah. So
or he didn't even see there. He didn't even see what the hell was going on the field.
Yeah, but it worked for him though. Cap was crazy good when he got loose. Boy, look out! So,
but people caught on to him,
Yeah, I know.
And
and they cut that.
So he was. That's the only thing I thought. I was like, man, if he would have just stayed with Alex Smith that year after he healed up. Man,
Cap
he
had
would.
an arm, though, didn't he? See, that's another thing. Guys with shotguns.
Yeah,
Cap could throw the
he had
ball out
arm,
the
he
damn
was-
stadium.
athletically gifted, fast, 4.3. Was he 4.3? Yeah, he was a 4.3.
Yeah, he was quick.
Yeah, remember we had, but yeah, we didn't. Yeah,
Once he
but I
got
thought
in
Alex
stride,
Smith was better.
ain't nobody pulling Colin Kaepernick down from behind. That dude, he looked like
Yeah,
a
but-
gazelle going down the field. Just
No,
beautiful
we were.
stride.
Yeah, we weren't going to play. We weren't going to play Green Bay every time either. You know.
No, right. So you got at that point now you got to be a quarterback. They've coming out of the pistol, and then of course they set that up, and they had I think the spy was first invented for Cap.
Yeah, because every time we went against them for a couple of years, like the 30, I think about shit talking, Green Bay fans. I thought, I'd love to play you guys again. I can't wait to see what records we break against you guys this year. Because one year it was Cap, then it was Mostart, and we just ripped them up on the ground for a few years straight.
I know.
Because I think Mostart set records against them, right?
Yeah, I
He
mean,
had like 180
200-something yards in a playoff game. That's never been touched. Saquon might have had a chance to do it, but he didn't. But Mostert, he was out of control. And people got mad at Jim because he went out there throwing the ball. I said, WTF. I don't want no. George Kittle said, hey, just run it down the throat. The receivers didn't want the ball. Nobody wanted the ball. Give that ball to Mostert. They couldn't do a damn thing with him. Now, why would I go away from that? So, yeah.
But this year we'll see what happens, Fucking 11 first 11 starters we're gonna get, in the draft. We'll be optimistic,
That's a whole team, ain't it? Whole half a squad. Yeah.
I think if we hit on 4 or 5, I think we'll be good. We hit on 4 or 5.
5 at least. 5 out of 11.
5.
They can contribute.
Yeah, 5
right now.
Yeah, 5 difference makers, Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't even. He should retire, Come on.
He might, because he's probably thinking about that.
Yeah.
He might not want to go to Pittsburgh because he knows Tomlin's not going to want to put up with his badness, but we'll see.
Yeah. But it'll be fun. We'll have fun this year. Yeah. I think.
We need to. Because, I think people might underrate the 49ers. I think they may still be competitive to some degree. We'll see about that. Because they didn't wipe out everything as far as offense goes. So if the defense can do anything and they got the right coaches.
But last year was just like an anomaly. We had all kind of shit going wrong. And if fans that don't want to see that, well, fuck them. Don't be a fan. Be fucking somebody scrutinize. We'll get Doge after your ass. What you been doing?
Downsize it down to 3 people. Rich, we gotta go. I'll see you Friday, fam. Good stuff.
All right, you have a good week, but I'll talk to you. It's hard.
Looking forward to it.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right, later. Bang, bang. Yeah.
Frank, I wasn't saying that I didn't mean to say the spy was invented, but you didn't see that deployed often because there wasn't that many quarterbacks do it like Cap when it first got underway. Yeah, there's only a few quarterbacks who would dart out of the pocket and run 100 miles an hour. So and Steve, what's his name? That guy, that comedian. As Steve, excuse me. Okay. Hey, yo, Michael.
Hey, Ronbo, dude, going? How's your night going? I heard a lot of rumors about that in New York today about Purdy going the Big Apple. I said, number one, I wouldn't take the 3 first rounders. No, I'd keep Purdy because you don't know what you're going to get into.
That's actually
you don't know what you're going to get in this quarterback. You don't know what you're going to get. You could get like another Trey Lance, another garbage. You don't want to take a chance.
You're only going to get one. You're going to get 3 picks back, though. So now you got 3 shots.
Or if you package those deals and look for another team that would take those for a veteran quarterback that's a little bit younger. Like go look at other teams that have quarterback. Would you take? Look at teams. Look at other teams that have good quarterbacks that would probably take the 3. I wish I could take the Bengals quarterback.
Michael, what's the name of that owner of the Giants?
Oh, I forget his name.
Anyway, his name's
put in the chat. What's the?
Anyway, that family is not. in a position now to make a high risk move like that. You know, you give up all those draft picks in a team that needs a lot of people, a lot of personnel. Yeah,
He'll get fired. He'll get fired if he did that. I think you do is take the quarterback you see. If you don't like it, go back and see what you can get, and maybe go after Dart in the second round. If you don't like the 2 quarterbacks in the first round, go for Dart later on in the first round or in the early second.
Who is Dart?
Who was that guy from Mississippi, the Ole Miss quarterback?
Yeah, that's right. He's getting a lot of conversation lately, isn't he?
Huh?
The Mara family. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, the Mara family. The Mara family has been doing weird things for some time now.
I mean, yeah. The owner for Atlanta, he looks weird. I know the Falcon owner looks weird. I seen what he looked like. He looks like that guy from what's that movie with Dumb and Dumber? He looks like one of the principals, the owner of the Falcons. I know
you're talking about.
He looks weird with the mustache. He looks weird. Oh, celebration next Friday, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people just aren't supposed to own a football team, you know.
Giants better off keeping the first round draft pick. If you want to draft, then Deion
they can't
go for it.
to give up draft picks like that. They need to find some people and bring them out and get them ready for the NFL. Not give away all your picks for Brock Purdy.
Purdy,
Jackson,
because it's not.
Jackson Dart is who you're talking about. That's the Ole Miss guy.
Yeah, Jackson Dart. Yeah.
Have you seen?
Yeah, maybe the Giants should go for something.
Does he look good?
No, he's not bad. No, he looks good. You know, sometimes drafting drafting quarterbacks later on sometimes are gems. Look at us. Look at the Patriots. Brady, Purdy. You know, sometimes drafting a first round quarterback. You don't have to always draft a first round quarterback.
Yeah.
The high risk is
the biggest
better
percentage of them don't do well.
Nope. 2021, for example. Look at 2021, Ronbo. One guy only made the first pick. Everybody else, and look at Trey Lance. I feel bad. I think he's better off going to UFL. Trey Lance needs to go to a minor league and just play with the UFL. I think that's what's going to happen.
I think he still wants to play. Probably will. He's not that old. So, yeah.
No. Maybe a team will give him a try. You never know what happened after preseason. Somebody can get hurt, and they have to bring in a quarterback. You never know.
Well, yeah.
You never know. Football's a funny sport,
Yeah, man, it's really... It's not.
Look what we went through.
It's cruel more than funny. NFL is really wow. You can get thrown in the garbage in a heartbeat.
I mean, I wish Trey Lance a lot of luck. I mean, I think if he didn't have that COVID year, he probably would have, stayed and transferred earlier. He could have transferred and, like you said, go to these big top schools. But
that's true.
You don't know you don't know how his living style was. No, did he live under his mommy, or did he? You know what I mean? I don't know back then.
No,
did he have his own play?
He had a stable situation as a child. The thing is, like you're saying, the COVID year, he needed more time in the college ranks. Especially in that division.
I think he should have stayed. And maybe, you know what I mean? Instead of leaving to go to the NFL that year, stay. I think he should have stayed.
Well,
would you, Ronbo? I mean, you think?
Yeah, we're going to find out later, though. And are you an Aaron Rodgers fan? And are you still clamoring for Aaron Rodgers to fulfill what should have taken place a long time ago, according to some people, that Alex was a mistake and you should have got Aaron Rodgers? Do you still love you some Aaron Rodgers?
Nah. Look how good we did with Alex Smith back then. Look at how we did with Alex Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Jim Harbaugh did pretty good with Alex Smith, and then he brought, the other quarterback. Rodgers a diva. He's put a wig on him and a dress on. He's better off staying in Pittsburgh. Give him a dress, give him lipstick and high heels. He'll look good with a purse.
Hey,
he's a diva. He's worse than a female.
Hey, Michael, but you know what? We talk about Alex Smith. He had 7 different coordinators through his first few years. What would Rodgers have looked like with all those different coordinators as well? That's something people don't think about.
And Steve DeBerg was a good quarterback back then. I remember him, Steve DeBerg, before Joe Montana. I remember him.
He's a guy that.
Afterwards, I think he went to Kansas City. I think he went to Kansas City after Steve DeBerg.
And during that time, everybody went to Kansas City. Yeah.
That's like the minor league. Like everybody from the Red Sox goes to the Dodgers. They do. Mookie Betts, couple of them. Oh, get ready for the big holiday, Rumble. Next Friday, it's 3/28. Everybody in the chat should know what 3/28 is.
Yeah, I keep hearing.
And Nikita came up with it. 328. Remember how the Falcons had a 28-3 lead, and I guess somebody came up with a 328 holiday. Hell,
Who did that?
whatever.
Somebody's trolling.
I don't
Tony.
know. Somebody's playing holiday. I guess it's three pizzas for $28. I don't know.
That's so evil. God.
I don't know. No, they'll be all right. Tony's team will be all right. He's got a good quarterback, young kid. I like that young kid from Washington. He's good. You guys will be fine. You got weapons, so we'll see what happens. This year's, football's a funny sport. Football, it's like martial arts, Ronbo.
You know who analysts are picking out? They're picking out Washington, the Rams.
Eagles?
There's a third team. What? Eagles. Yeah. Washington, Rams, Eagles. They're sharing who's going to go to the Super Bowl next year.
And how about AFC? Who they have for AFC? Besides the Chiefs and Buffalo and Baltimore?
Don't remember hearing about that. I just heard that, which got my attention. They may have been talking about the AFC earlier. But as soon as the Rams are in position this year, you got to look at them as a top contender along with the Eagles and, of course, the up-and-coming Washington Commanders.
Washington should be the team to watch for.
Yeah.
They're overdue. They should be a team to watch for. They're a good team, Washington. They're going to probably,
No, yeah, I have no doubt about Washington. Yeah. Don't count. People's over there motivated.
Yeah. Don't count Green Bay or Detroit or Minnesota. Depends what they get for a quarterback. You never know. Minnesota's going to get maybe.
Is still in the mix. Detroit.
And Minnesota's going to watch.
I remember Detroit. I forgot about that.
Detroit, yes. Yes. Green Bay, yeah.
Well, no, don't do that.
Still,
because Tony and I had that a couple of years ago, and I said, I like Detroit. Green Bay, maybe. I don't think so. They got to go through Minnesota and everything.
For Tony's division, watch out for Carolina. Watch out for Carolina Panthers. You got to watch them.
Told Tony about that. Michael, we're going to go. I'll see you.
You got to watch out.
All right.
Let's run out 328K celebration. Three pizzas for $28.
That's just mean.
Good night, buddy.
You too.
What's your favorite part of the temple?
Well, it's a big show. Delighted you got here tonight. So you know what's up, man. All right. Those 3 first-round picks. And I know you, Show. I can even answer this before you do. If the 49ers get a phone call from New York City saying we'll give you 3 first-round picks for Brock Purdy, you are on that in a heartbeat.
Oh, yes, 100%.
I know, Show.
But I don't think it's 3 first-round picks. They would swap picks with us and
give 2.
Possibly give up a pick next year, yes. So it would be technically 2 first-round picks. But I don't think that's what it's going to take to get that deal done. Honestly, I think it's going to be like if it were to come to fruition and were to happen, I think it would just be a swap of this year's first-round picks and maybe a later-round pick next year. That's what would sweeten the deal, I think, honestly. And what I think should happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen, but it would be nice because until I get clarity on where the direction of the front office is going to be within the next couple of years, because Kyle and John are not going to be here very much longer. We need to face that reality too, because John's contract expires at the end of the 2026 season. So does Kyle Shanahan's, and technically could be Kyle Shanahan's last season with us. Should he decide on what he wants to do at this point going forward? Because I don't know. We gutted our roster, and we were not that active in free agency either. We were just putting bodies in there that are not really outstanding players. Sure, yes, they're talented, but they're not going to get you into the playoffs. And as far as Brock goes, I've mentally prepared myself for a contract extension, but also it ties together with the front office of where they're going to be and what's going to happen. Because why would you extend Brock Purdy to 4 to 5 years or even 3 years when you don't know the direction we're going to be? When they're not, like I said, they're not going to be here very much longer. You know what I mean? So it makes absolutely zero sense to sign Brock Purdy right now. And I think based on our moves this offseason by gutting our roster and not bringing very many impactful players in here, that they're going to make him play out his rookie deal.
All right.
Am I wrong there?
No, the way you put that together, no, I agree. You're absolutely right. Why sign Brock Purdy? And if you're going to bring a new coach in, he's going to want to pick out his own quarterback. Yeah, that's a show. That's a great argument.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't see why it makes any. I know we want to sign him and like him, yes, but some of our fans on here kind of get caught up in the prisoner, or kind of get diagnosed with prisoner of the moment syndrome.
Yeah.
You have to go back and ask yourselves: do we win because of Brock Purdy, or did we win because of the talent around him? And the answer to that question is the latter part of the
statement
of the question.
Yeah.
We had a lot of talent around him, and he unfortunately couldn't get it done. A lot like Steven said with Shedeur Sanders, who couldn't get it done with a lot of talent around him. You're describing Brock Purdy too. So I'm leaning towards that we're going to be making him play out his rookie deal. Should he sit? That's what we brought on Mac Jones for insurance policy. Kyle wanted him back in 2021 and is still absolutely wasting in love with him enough to sign him to a 2-year deal, which Kyle have left on their contracts. Like I said, John's expires at the end of the 2026 season, and so does Kyle. But I don't know what's going to happen after this season. You know what I mean? So like, there's no clarity, and that's alarming. So like I help Aaron Rodgers. He's old, washed up. Yes, he wanted to be a 49er for a long, long time, but hindsight 2020, I'm glad we have passed on him because he has character issues and a lot of weirdness off the field that we are now just finding out about. Like, you know,
actually, yeah, the club isn't designed or built to handle that kind of diva. So yeah.
So yeah, I don't think there's going to be any more players that are going to be signed long term just because of the situation with our club being number one, being it up 10% of it being up for sale, and number two, there's no clear direction. Like I said, I keep repeating myself and sounding like a broken record, but there's no clarity right now. Yeah. You know, so why would you tie yourself down to a quarterback for 5 to 4 years or 3 years, and God forbid should he get injured, which he has before in the past, we're screwed. You know what I mean? Like, if they were to structure a contract with him, I think it was to get out. I think they'll structure it in a way for them to get out of it after 1 year. And I think that's not going to be agreed to by his agent because his agent is seeking $55 to $60 million. And they gave him a number already, I'm pretty sure, and said, take it or leave it. And right now we're stuck in a situation where I'm pretty sure they're not taking it. So that's why nothing's getting done right away. And I don't think anything's going to get done before the draft, or after the draft, or before minicamp, or during minicamp, or during the regular season. And that's why I'm leaning towards that they're going to make him play out his rookie deal. They don't have to sign him right away.
No, well, yeah, that's true. So,
and no, Aaron Rodgers, stay away, please. Keep your weirdness back on the East Coast. And no, I was caught up in the moment too with Aaron Rodgers and how good he looked. But no, just learning about him later on in life, about him, no.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the guy's got character issues that weren't really exposed until the last 3 or 4 years, actually. As soon as he went to that dark cave, I immediately knew that there was something going on in his mind that wasn't actually compatible with playing in the NFL. Nobody has. That's going to ruin a team.
Yeah, it's just a weird season, like, for us. I've never seen anything like this happen before. Like, I've seen that mass exodus of players under Jim Harbaugh, but nothing like this. We're inactive during free agency. Didn't bring any impactful players in. We could have signed Aziz Ojolari instead of bringing Kyle Juszczyk back, which he does absolutely. I mean, in his prime, he just returned because Kittle made a post on social media. Apparently, Kittle runs the team now. I don't know, Ronbo. And if we, I want to make a point before I go. If we were to get rid of Brock Purdy in via trade, and the players were upset, who gives a flying S about their feelings? Okay, you don't base decisions like that based off the players' feelings. Yeah. A lot of those guys are on their way out anyway. We gutted our roster. We don't have a team anymore, pretty much, basically. So if we were to do that, it would make total sense. Kittle doesn't have a contract extension coming to him.
Yeah.
I don't think Fred Warner does either.
Yeah.
I'm spending that kind of money for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Neither does Trent Williams. We already gave up all that money for them.
You know,
Guys, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but honestly, is the Aaron Rodgers talk the same as Tom Brady talk? Are we going to make the same mistake on not signing Tom Brady because of our feelings? Are we going to make the same mistake and be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is washed, and we totally passed on him, and then we're going to keep playing with, Brock Purdy, the dude who can't throw 50 yards, or are we going to try to make a run for the Super Bowl? That's what I want to ask you and Ronbo. Big Show, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
This is the same, and this is Bryant Culp, so you know who I am. This is the same conversation that we had with Tom Brady. Let's just sign the dude, and let's get Super Bowl.
All right. Brian,
I would say absolutely yes. I would say absolutely yes to that and dismiss all of the feelings I have about Aaron Rodgers, but we're not contending for a Super Bowl this year, whether people want to believe it or not, because we got our roster. What impactful players do we have left?
Okay. Who did we gut? We gutted what? A linebacker. We still have Fred Warner.
Yes.
We still have we still have a running back that we only give the ball to. So CMC comes back healthy. We don't have to worry about getting the ball to Debo, who wasn't catching the ball, who was taking away plays, who said that he wasn't running full time when he knew the ball wasn't coming to him. Brandon Ayuk is hurt. So who do we have right now besides CMC and Fred Warner? Fred Warner, if he comes back with 2 good feet, he should be the life of the defense, right?
Right, but we have Fred Warner, yes, but a lot of these guys are older now. They have a lot of miles on them, and they haven't played the same since they haven't played the same since they've gotten paid.
Tell me who, because I know we have 22 players as the last Super Bowl roster. We let 11 guys go out of the last 22 roster. Okay? But we still have Fred Warner.
Yes, we had them last year too, but they didn't help us out very much, did they?
But he had a broken foot, right? And then CMC didn't play the whole season, right? Brandon Ayuk got hurt right away. CMC got hurt. Wasn't not Debo didn't play, right? So Debo's gone. Brandon Ayuk is gone, basically, right?
He's going to be gone for the beginning of the regular season this year too.
Brian, hold on. We got to stop. So let Big Show handle that real quick. Big Show, real quickly, your quick answers on what Brian just brought up.
But to answer the question, yes, we have those guys still. But if one of them goes down and misses the time, and which they do, they miss a lot of time. I don't see us. We're not a playoff contending team this year. We just got to face that reality. We spent over $300 million. Yeah,
even with the fourth place schedule.
There's no such thing as an easy schedule in the NFL to begin with. Number one.
Dude, I've been listening to you. To you for like 8 years, 10 years, right? I'm a 49er fan. You're a 49er fan.
Too.
I consider you a friend, right?
Right.
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
We got to wrap it. It, guys.
Shout out to you guys. All right.
Big Show. Thanks, fam. All right, guys.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Shout out to everyone. Take care. All right.
Lots of food for thought on that, huh? Big Show, how much is Sam Darnold fan club membership 49er Brian still take? Brian! Hey, Anthony.
What it do, Ronbo? What it do?
Anthony.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Wait, Anthony, you know what's going down. We're bringing up the subject matter that, the 49ers are always in the middle of something. I think the 49ers, we get picked at in the offseason more so than any other team ever.
First of all, they're talking about we good at our team. Rambo.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Rambo.
Okay.
Out of all the players we got rid of, how many on there was impact that made an impact out there on that field besides Drake Greenlaw, Rambo?
I've considered that. Every last one of them were out most of the time. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure.
There you go, Rambo.
Yeah.
Rambo, they didn't have no impact on the team at all.
Yeah.
Hufunga for ACL, come back, broke his wrist, out again. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Debo Debo had fell off so bad, Rambo.
Yeah.
Come back every year, fat, out of shape, bloated.
Yeah. He
Can't
became
do
invisible.
that.
Yeah.
Invisible.
And also, you look at the who else made an exit here? And Dre Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw actually is the only one of the bunch that it actually
There
hurts
you
to see
go.
him go.
The only one out the bunch. The only one. If it was me, Rambo, no lie, me and my homeboy, we die here hard for our fans. He called me today. He said, Amp, would you trade Brock, get 2 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, I'll do that. Rambo, I'll do it.
You won't necessarily get Aaron Rodgers, but you create space. Aaron was looking at the Giants and the Steelers. You would take that away from the. He'd only have one choice now.
No,
There's
I'm
not a
just
lot of
saying,
teams that want to sign him.
But when he asked me about Aaron Rodgers, I said, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. Aaron Rodgers, he's a little drama queen.
Yeah, this is.
But I do believe, Rambo.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers still got enough tank to get you to the Super Bowl, Rambo.
Yeah.
Then they come out so we got the team, we ain't playing for no Super Bowl contender. I say they said the same thing about Green Bay Packers. When John Love first came quarterback, they got all them young players out there and look what happened. Shocked a lot of people, Rambo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
preach, bro. Preach. You're 100% right. Keep going.
I mean, you got to give these young players a chance, Rambo. You feel me?
I do.
You can't just automatically say, well, we got a bunch of rookies out here.
They all start off as rookies. Just about. Yeah.
So, me personally, Rambo, if Brock crying for that money, like they say he is, I wouldn't do that, Rambo.
Well, no. And I don't think the 49ers are going to do that. I don't think any team is going to do that anymore. Dak and Deshaun Watson are in a world of their own, getting overpaid. So,
that's what I'm saying. One dude talking about Brock not coming money that. Well, just because Jerry Jones and the Cleveland Browns owners was stupid, that don't mean we got to be stupid.
Or anybody else in the league. That's true. I don't think nobody's getting $60 million for the next couple of years. Well, maybe 2 years from now they might, because at that point, that level will have risen. But Dak got overpaid, and Jerry Jones.
Yeah, but right now,
yeah.
Right now, I ain't no way I give Brock no $60 million.
No, and 50 would be the ceiling, because that's not the way the 49ers work. The quarterback doesn't do all the heavy lifting anyway, so he doesn't need to be asking for that much know-how. I think the 49ers probably made that clear to both him and the agent. And actually, I don't see Brock sitting around here talking about, I need $60 million. I can't imagine him talking like that. I don't know about his agent.
As far as this team making it to the playoffs this year, Rambo, we'll be in the playoffs. Number one, you got to upgrade in the wide receiver that we got from the Rams. He'll upgrade over Debo. He's proven that he can beat
man coverage.
Press coverage.
You
see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I seen him. I wouldn't look at the clip. He's always been pretty good.
Yeah. I remember when he cooked us when we played there. He was cooking us, Rambo.
I know.
Every time he turned around, he was wide open.
Yeah. So I don't think the wide receiver. I don't think the offense is going to be doing a lot of struggling. I'm more concerned about the defense actually, and how they're going to do, because
yeah, for defense go Rambo. For defense go Rambo.
Yeah.
Okay, we still got, like say, think about it. Fred Warner played, even though he had that broken bone in his foot, he still was playing good football, Rambo.
Yeah, Fred that's a different kind of human being. No, most guys come out. Fred Warner that's amazing, and he didn't say anything for a number of weeks.
Okay, you got him. Okay, you got Fred Warner still.
Yeah.
You got Nick Bosa. You got Kevin Givens. And Kevin Givens, He was good actually until he broke his pectoral. He was good. He was playing good football, Rumble.
No, I've got nothing bad to say about him. That's still, you got numbers. You got three. You just mentioned three names, right? But where's the rest of the front defensive line? I don't.
And then you got the young boy.
Yeah.
You got the young boy. Evan Anderson.
The big kid. Yeah. No, he might be okay.
The big young boy.
Yeah.
He was playing good ball, but even though Kyle really didn't want to play him like that because he was a rookie.
Yeah, Kyle's got to think about that. You're not ready yet. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out. Anthony, we're gonna go though because I got to pull up here. But listen, Friday I'll be back and looking for you, and there's no telling what's gonna happen. We may even have Aaron Rodgers in camp, and Brock may be on his way to New York City.
Well, Rambo, you say it's so funny though.
Because it's unreal. And the Giants, if for no other reason, the Giants can't afford to make a deal like that. That's insane. And Rodgers is going to end up in Pittsburgh. He's going to see the light. If he's going to play, he's going to play in Pittsburgh. That's his best chance. Because he's the one coming to the We're not ready like that. Right now, it doesn't look like.
We can go up in the draft and get that linebacker from Georgia, Jalen Walker.
Yes.
He's the best linebacker in this draft coming up, Rambo.
I've heard a lot about it. We got to go though, Anthony. Really do. I got to stop here. We can't do a 4-hour show tonight. I'll see you Friday.
Rambo.
All right.
I appreciate you, Rambo.
Appreciate you, and you know this. Night, fam.
All right. Yeah.
But if the Giants do that, I will be amazed. 49er Brian just getting in out in snow country and skied his way home, running alongside down the road with a St. Bernard trailing him, taking a little nip every now and then. That's all. That's all I need. Let's go, big fella.
What it do, player?
Brian,
the marketing schmo knows the score because he has clarity in his life when it comes to the 49ers organization.
All right.
Unlike some people that call in and say, I need clarity. Give me some clarity. I don't understand. Rombo, the clarity word is reminding me of a word that people learn like every year. Like what last year's phrase was scapegoat. Mm-hmm. Everybody was learning that word.
Yeah.
And now we have the clarity word.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well,
everybody's vocabulary is expanding.
Brian, how many teams have real distinctive direction? When you look at teams around the NFL, it kind of seems like
49ers.
A lot of teams are doing. We do. But, there's other teams that look like, well, we're going to make this move, we're going to make that move. The Giants, there's a team that doesn't have any direction. So they would, if they were going to do anything like that with the 49ers, it would make sense, actually, because they're a little bizarre. The Saints are starting to look suspect. Go ahead.
Well, we've got our pillars still. Yes, they're aging. They probably got another 2-3 years left in them, some of our pillars.
Mm-hmm.
And we are definitely going younger this year. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no,
but to sit there and say it's a to sit there and say it's a total rebuild and we're trading our franchise quarterback is ridiculous. It's so stupid. I can't even fathom it, and I don't see it happening because no one's gonna give up 3 picks for Brock Purdy. Who's gonna do that, Ronbo?
No. Also,
seriously,
the 49ers taking that biggest step back. Now you've got to get a quarterback in there, and hopefully he'll be okay. And Aaron Rodgers is not coming to San Francisco. Aaron Rodgers is going to some place where he thinks that it's the table is. Where the table is set for a Super Bowl run.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We didn't want Rodgers. We had Alex Smith, who turned out to be a wonderful guy, wonderful quarterback for us for all those years. Yeah, we didn't get a Super Bowl with him, but man, I tell you what, I'd still take Alex Smith over Aaron Rodgers today, just because of the drama of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, Ronbo?
Because Aaron became diva. Divitude when it came over him about 5 years ago. When he got into
something
it with LaFleur,
when
LaFleur got there, Aaron looked at LaFleur, hey, I'm in charge here, buddy. Okay? And then him and Matt LaFleur had a falling out. And then Aaron finally bought over into the program. Well, I said, you know what? Kyle Shanahan is a lot meaner than LaFleur, whatever it be. So, Aaron, you go to San Francisco and you're going to do things your own way. That's why I know it'll never happen, and I know it would never happen back then. There's no way that Kyle Shanahan and Aaron Rodgers are going to be on the same field at the same time. The fights would be bloody.
Well, look how many years that Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench behind Brett Favre. How many years did he sit on the bench? Like
At
4 or
least
5
4.
years?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you look at Love. How many years did Love sit on the bench waiting for Aaron
3,
to leave?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, we don't have that in San Francisco.
No.
I mean, that's what people don't understand is we don't have the longevity of quarterbacks that we used to have.
And most teams don't.
Quarterbacks
you bring a
today,
quarterback in, he starts right away.
Exactly. I mean, and Brock, this is what I have to beat it into clowns that make fun of Brock Purdy about his stats, how he is. Dude, do you guys watch film? Do you look at his stats? The guy has had an outstanding last 3 years. It's unbelievable, his stats. And he is primed and ready to sign a good contract and be our starting quarterback, our franchise quarterback, and I think he's going to be successful in these next couple of years. And being the schedule that it is this year, and us going younger, and Ronbo, this draft is insane. There's just studs everywhere.
Fortunately,
I'm sure Kyle
studs too. Yeah.
Oh, Ronbo, I'm not even worried what Kyle and John do this year. I think they have a plan.
They can't miss, right?
They had a little meet. Yeah, they had a little meeting with Jed. Jed told them, "Hey, go out there and get some studs. Don't be drafting no kicker this year." You know what I mean?
Hey, you know something, Brian? You're right about that. Jed did say he's not into paying for all these high-priced contracts and getting the results that they got. He kind of even said building through the draft is the right way to go. So that is pretty much why it's not all about just Kyle and John's thinking as to what they want to do. Jed already laid that law down. You guys are going to build this team through the draft. Yeah.
And Nightmare just said it in the chat. We were 6-11, but a lot of those games we would have won. It wasn't Brock's fault. It was players that weren't doing it for him.
I know. I got 2 names. I mean, Ronnie Bell and Debo. That's 3 games. That's 2 games right there. It could have been easily 8. Debo, that was your bread and butter. Got your play. Catch the friggin' ball, and he drops it.
And you're gonna,
Ronnie Bell.
You're gonna sit here and tell me. You're gonna sit here and tell me that if we would have had a healthy team last year, that we wouldn't have went into the playoffs at least last year. There's no way.
You're not gonna stop a healthy 49er team, but that's football, and that's what happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
Detroit wins that Super Bowl. Detroit actually wins that. Yeah, Detroit actually goes to the Super Bowl if they don't have an equally. I mean, they just got wiped out with injuries too. This is what football is all about. The team that ends the season with the most healthiest team is probably, if they're good, they're going to be the guys. That's the way it is.
Yeah, Ronbo, I really think that we're gonna be fine this year. We'll make the playoffs. I don't think we're. Super Bowls are tough. I don't know if it's going to be this year for a Super Bowl, but I know we're going to at least get in there and raise some hell this year. Well, we're not no choker team like Lambs Air Nation.
Yeah, and also that soft schedule. Oh, beware of a soft schedule. There's going to be some teams that are playing way above their head, so it would appear. Because you go by last year. That's one thing. They're coming in this year. They could be different. They could be 2 or 3 surprises. We'll see. Brian, we're gonna go though.
Yeah.
Let me see.
All right, Ronbo. Hey, appreciate you worrying about me Friday night. I finally got home about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Woo!
I was stuck on that mountain for like 6-7 hours, but just stay there. Yeah, it was crazy.
Tony reassured us should be okay if you had a lot of fuel, especially diesel. It burns slowly, so you'd be okay. So.
Oh yeah, and then. I bet there was about 40, 50 truckers up there that were stuck, and we were all just walking around BSing with each other. It was kind of fun.
You guys are tough. You guys are walking around. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, I'll see you Friday.
All right,
I'm glad you're back. All right. out of that
Hey,
snow.
all right, Ronbo. Love you. Shout out to the fam.
Thanks,
Everybody, you know who you are. Everybody have a good night. We'll see ya.
Hey, he's a tough guy. Night, Brian. They were out walking around, truckers up in the mountains and wherever, snow coming down, it's freezing ass. They're walking around talking trash and having a good time. Well, that's what you call a roughneck. hey, break.
Ronbo, how you doing, man?
Break. Hey, great, man. I haven't heard from you in a long time. How you doing? Break usually comes in on break. Can you hear me? Come in, break.
Oh.
I hear you trying to get in.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Okay.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, I think my Bluetooth was kicking over.
Yeah. Bluetooth really has some kind of problem with our system. I don't know what it is. Break. Come on in, man. I always used to love your takes. We're trying to, everybody's speculating on what Brock Purdy's asking for as opposed to what he's getting. What do the 49ers offer him? How's his agent doing? 3 first-round picks out of Carlton, for some reason, has come up with that just so he can get attention. It worked. 3 first-round picks from the Giants. 49ers go ahead and jettison him to New York, Brock Purdy, that is, and have 2 more picks. This year's pick would be a switch, and then you got 2 more years of first-round picks. Most of us agree that if the Giants were that stupid to give up a third overall pick to the 49ers for the 11th pick and 2 more first picks in the following years, because the Giants are going to be piss poor for the next 2 years as well. So, it would be amazing. But you almost have to break. I don't know. Do you take that deal? And also, with the situation we got there, Aaron Rodgers would he be compelled to come to the 49ers now that there's no Brock Purdy and he doesn't have to argue with anybody? And would you be okay with that?
That's a lot to unpack, man. First of all, with the trade, you'd be crazy not to do something like that.
Yeah.
There's almost, I don't know, too many quarterbacks that you wouldn't do that for. Brock Purdy's good. He's not elite. We kind of know that. He's probably better than good. Yeah. But you don't pass up a trade like that. Although the last time we made a trade with the quarterback, it kind of backfired on us too. So it's kind of hard to I love Brock, and but like I said, that trade is almost insane not to do. But
I know. Yeah. Remember, we were the ones who gave up the point. We gave up the picks this time. This time we're receiving the picks, and now it's a whole other story.
Exactly. Yeah. But if that's a real deal, then I think it'd be crazy not to do it, especially after what they just did. For all the people out there that are talking about this isn't a rebuild, it is. And it's sad because we were only a few pieces away. I don't know how you can't see that this is a rebuild. The fact is we didn't go out and do anything free agency of substance, right? So I'm all for them doing, I'm going to follow them, whatever they do. I'm going to support them. But I mean, I feel bad for Trent and George and Fred and CMC and all these guys because next year is going to be treading water, man. They'd be lucky to be close to 500, I think, next year. I'm going to hold out hope, but it's scary, man. You basically feel like they punted on the season, just trying to stack as much money as they can and see what happens in the draft.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
cap
man.
Hit. Break. Offhand, what is that dead cap hit? It's near $100 million.
Yeah, there's a lot. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't understand what they're doing. A lot of people don't. For the people that do understand, explain it to me because I don't get it. Am I wrong? Or didn't it feel like maybe last year was just a bad year? It wasn't necessarily like we have a bad team. We just had a bad year. We had some injuries, some things went wrong. We had some close games, but our personnel wasn't that far off. And, you can go ahead and cut Trey Debo. You can cut all the people you wanted to cut. That's fine. I'm not really upset. Only one that I kind of bummed out about was Dre. But you can do everything you did, and I'm not mad about that. What frustrated me is there are some free agents that we could have picked up and retooled and reloaded and still been competitive for this year, and we didn't do that. And I was really concerned. Like, there was a center out there, a couple centers. There were some safeties. There was a lot of things out there that we just let go, and we just sat on our hands and signed a bunch of special teamers again. And the problem is, Kyle Shanahan does not play his draft players. I mean, it takes him a while to get comfortable playing those guys. So you can't sit here and tell me, we're going to stack up 12, 13 draft picks and we're going to be back next year. That's not going to happen. That Kyle doesn't trust those guys. It takes him a while for him to build the trust. So I don't know, man. I haven't talked to you for a while, so I'm kind of throwing everything out there. Is how I feel.
I'm finding it all absolutely true. And as a matter of fact, yeah, you can't lose the best offensive player of the year, and also one of the better wide receivers out there that actually was a part of the functioning of that wide receiver room. Brandon Ayuk was taking people downfield with him, which also made Debo's life a lot easier. As we saw, Debo demonstrated the fact that he was handicapped due to the fact that he didn't have his crutch. So I'm saying, there were a lot of things that went wrong. And then Shanahan, I tell you something, Break. Shanahan, for the first time, I've never seen him look absolutely helpless. He didn't know what to do without certain few players. And you know what? You mentioned about him. He either has trust issues with young players. When the youngsters did come in on defense, they showed that they were capable. Shanahan didn't let Ricky Pearsall do anything more than run a lot of clear-out routes to make space for his main guys. Jawan Jennings had a great year for the reason that he used that same formula for Jawan. And Jennings did a lot on his own. But the thing is, Shanahan's got to become more flexible mentally on what he does. He's a brilliant coach. He puts the X's and O's in great places. But Jesus Christ, Kyle, trust those guys a little more. Yeah. They can do these things. You draft them for a reason. Oh,
I know. And I mean, here's something that might be positive. I don't know how much you guys pay attention to this, but I've always said that he has too much on his plate. He's the coordinator, the head coach. I feel like he's always just trying to think too much ahead and instead of trying to figure out what's happening in the now. So they announced that, we're going to have an OC next year. Maybe the guy had an OC title or he was an OC last year but didn't have the title. But they announced it. This is the first time we've ever said we have an OC. So maybe that takes a little bit of pressure off him. I don't know if that means anything or if it's real or if it's just giving that guy a title and promoting him, making him feel better. But that could be something and that could help. Because I feel like Kyle just has way too much happening, and he just can't focus on the entire game, And I don't know, man. Maybe that could help. I don't know.
Well, you're right, because Jed York felt the same way, and Kyle, in essence, was given a demotion. They don't want him making all those decisions. If there's any problem with player personnel, he is not to come upstairs and sit in on those meetings. He is to focus on just what his job title is. As head coach, you don't need to get involved in all the decisions and everything else. You got too much on your plate. We want you to focus on being Kyle Shanahan, one of the best offensive coordinators in the game. And that's pretty much what he's going to do this year. So John Lynch takes a step up, and that's probably what it's going to be this year. Kyle's not supposed to be involved in those things and getting all emotionally attached and losing focus. It was that way in the first place, Break. He should have never got involved like he was.
Right. Yeah. You're right. And he kind of I think he has a little bit of a control. He's a little bit of a control freak. He wants everything to run through him.
Yeah.
And, you got people there that can do everything. Let them do their job, man. You be the coach and let everybody else do everything else. I think we'll be fine. But next year is going to, again, with the Brock Purdy thing, I'm all for I don't think he should get more than 50. I think 40 to 45 is his range. I'm okay with that. You got to get more than Darnold. Darnold got 35 a year. Yeah. He's got to get more than that, but he can't get more than Josh or these guys. He's just not that. So you got to be 40, 45, somewhere in that range. Yeah. I wouldn't be real mad if he got like 48 or 50. Yeah. But again, with Aaron Rodgers, 2 years ago maybe he would have been a guy I would have been all right with, but not now. We're not ready to win a Super Bowl, and that's unfortunate because it's home this year, and I thought, man, this is gonna be it, man. I was telling my kids we're gonna get season tickets this year. We're gonna actually see the Super Bowl, cross it off my bucket list, and then free agency came, and I'm figuring like, what just happened? What happened?
It's a sad thing. It's gonna get better, Break. We gotta go. Break. Great to hear from you, and don't be a stranger. I won't be back until next weekend, but we'll look for you. All right.
All right. I'll catch up with you later, Ronbo.
Looking forward. Thanks, Break. Night, fam.
Take care.
And yo, Ellis. Ellis.
Ronbo.
Ellis.
What's happening?
Let's do it, fam. You know, we're going. You know, there's Entertainment Sunday, right? Anything I saw that was just outrageous on the internet, I said I got to bring this to the table tonight. Carton, WTF, man. The Giants are not going to give the 49ers 3 first-round picks. They're already, if they do, everybody's going to, the whole front office will be evacuated. That's just doing too much, right? Brock Purdy is not an answer for what the Giants' problems are. The Giants' problems are very, very large. It's more than just a quarterback, right? So that's not going to happen. And also, Aaron Rodgers, his two options were the Giants and the Steelers. So in essence, you remove that option away from the Giants if they were to get Brock Purdy, because they'd be through searching. Aaron would have to go to Pittsburgh. So if he didn't want to go to Pittsburgh, where would he go? Of course, he'd go to San Francisco and see what's going on there. And then, of course, I don't know what would happen. Not honestly. I can't imagine it, but still, some believe he would be coming in and do a great job. But, Alice, where are you at on this madness?
I just need shit to talk about.
Yeah. It's all unreal. It's all no to everything, actually. You're right.
It just needs something to talk about. Come on. Giants would never give us 3 first-round picks for Brock Purdy.
Nice. You know? I
And Jed's not going for that either.
As a matter of fact,
Kyle and John might as well turn in their keys.
Door card.
I mean that's the equivalent of being terminated and beginning, starting from scratch again. New quarterback, new everything. Who the hell are you going to come in there and have, take in, ingest the system and come right in and fill in and be able to compete right away?
Trent Williams wouldn't like it.
I mean, it's just not realistic. So it's not. I don't really feel the need to talk about it or really address it like that. It's fantasy.
It really is. And the reason I ask it is obviously I think some people would love to see that happen. Those are the people that have removed themselves from reality, knowing that the Giants, there's no way the Giants are going to make that deal. Carton came on and made a big deal about that, and also added to that we signed Aaron Rodgers and you go to the Super Bowl. I said, and he said, and don't have to pat me on the back, and you're very welcome. I said, Carton, nobody's saying thank you very much. What are you talking about? And that was the hilarity of the whole thing.
Yeah, he's huffing. He's huffing glue.
Hey, Alice, let me run this by you, though. Show made a point that did stick in my mind, though. If the 49ers don't sign Brock and make him pay his 4th year, that means Kyle and John are on notice. And that means if you don't want to sign a quarterback that's going to be around for a new manager to come in and have to get rid of in order to get his own quarterback, there's some credence in that thinking, isn't there? If the 49ers don't sign Brock, that means they are looking to let him go next year, right along with Kyle and John. Do you think that's a possibility of that?
I mean, it's arbitrary. You could you could make a case for it, but I mean, they're not gonna. I just feel like it would bring too much of a like we just came from a season that had a bunch of negative shit floating over us, the Ayuk stuff, that dragged out, and it was just like this dark cloud. We were picked to go to the Super Bowl last year, so and all that everything just blew up, and it went to it went down the toilet. So I don't think they're going to play Russian roulette like that. The problem is that if Brock and his team aren't willing to sign a 3-year contract, then maybe they set him up for a 5-year, and there's a way they can put a clause in there to where they can ditch him after 2 or 3 seasons.
They always do.
And that will be the max that Jed gives them. I don't think he's just going to give them 1 season and just fire him like that. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, the thing is,
I mean,
their contract expires next year, it seems.
Yeah. Well, they're and so they're going to be essentially having to work to get that extension this season. You know, is
there it is
going to have a lot to do with whether or not they get an extension, but it would just be unless Judd is willing to, they're willing to say, hey, Brock, unless they're willing to say, hey, Brock, we're just gonna franchise tag you, let you play out, rest your contract, and we'll talk next season. They can do that.
They can
do that.
That would put what a show says in vogue, because now Brock plays this out. John and Kyle have to get it done this year. Don't come out of there 6-11 again, or whatever the record was. And then Jed can make his decision at the end of the year. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. It was a good run, but we're done. And I appreciate you guys taking it. Yeah. So that's a very scary thought.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, it is. So it puts a lot of pressure on everybody. It puts a lot of pressure on Brock, John, Kyle, the team, the organization as a whole.
Yeah, George is gone. Everybody's gone.
Yeah.
They really do start from scratch then.
Yeah. But when they do that, they're prepared, if we, have a, 11 or more win season, whether Super Bowl or not, they're likely going to they're going to extend. We just need a winning season.
Yeah,
like a winning season by a long shot. That's all we need to get the extension for John and to keep Brock around. And then maybe they do give him that 5-year deal, but that's going to make him a lot more expensive next time around, because that's what the Cowboys did with Dak Prescott. That's why he was able to hit their ass over the head and get that $60 million because they were doing the franchise game.
Yeah.
And that's how Kirk Cousins was able to hit the Vikings over the head. You know what I mean? And why he's got so much money. Damn. Yeah, he got a $500 million probably damn near
Is he only
in his career so far.
I thought
I'm saying he might have reached there. He's definitely got like almost $300 million. I mean, easily.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right. So about a $500 million. Yeah.
Somebody check that.
No,
So
right,
he's getting close to it. So that's what I mean. It just depends on how they want to play it. So I don't think I'm cool with it. If they want to franchise tag him and let him play out and let him show his stuff. He did get hurt towards the end of the season. What's that injury looking like? How's he doing with that? Has he been throwing? We really don't know what was going on or what's been going on even with that. And there may need to be some clauses in the contract, hence they do extend him that, that allows them to get out after, let's say 2 years, 3 years or something like that, to give them some cushion like they did with Brandon Ayuk, which is why I kind of think they should just move off of him. Because they set up his contract to where they could get off of him after 1 year. So they got to do it now, or they got to keep his ass.
The Niners will always protect themselves in those contracts. Ellis, I gotta cut this show short tonight. I'll see you Friday. Great points as usual. You get because this week's gonna be pretty rough for me. I'm gonna see you Friday and see what develops between now and then.
Okay, bet, man. Ronbo, did you watch the rest of those? Players yet?
Every time I talk to
you, your ass didn't do it. Huh?
I feel like I'm going to come to class.
Damn.
Ronbo, did you finish your
assignments? Ronbo, you got your homework?
I did.
You got.
I did.
You didn't get your homework yet.
Huh? You know what? This week I'm gonna have plenty of time to get to it. I promise you, those papers will be written, and I'll be sending them on your desk immediately, or sending you online immediately after they're done, which will be shortly. All right.
Hey, man, 20 minutes, man. That's all it takes. 15, 20 minutes.
I understand. I'll get to it. All right, man.
Yeah, it's all gravy. Hey, shout out to family. Y'all know what it is, man. Hit that like and subscribe. Shout out to chat. All the fam. Y'all know who you are, man. And
Keep it lit, man. Thank you for the platform.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Ellis,
so-
for being a part of it all.
All right,
fam.
all right now. Yes, sir. Peace.
All right. I gotta drop. Well, I'll be right back. Eric, thanks for waiting. Eric, come on in.
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Oh, Eric, you're doing all right, man. It's Sunday, and the subject matter tonight is just ludicrous. He says, and Carton came on and made just an incredible statement. And Eric, can you imagine? First of all, though, tell me what's the temperature in Seattle, because we're keeping an eye on you guys as well, because we're also scheduled to get beaten up by the Hawks and the Rams. And like this past season, I was rooting for you guys every time you played the Rams too. The Cardinals, nobody's saying anything about them, which is worrying me as well. I haven't heard not a single word is being said about the Cardinals regarding anything, free agency, anything else. What does that mean? What are they doing? Have you heard anything about the Cards?
I've not heard anything about the Cards. That just kind of concerned me a little bit because it means that they are up to something.
Yeah. I mean, silence. That is really weird. We've heard about the Rams. They picked up Devontae. They re-signed Stafford. They're thinking their defensive line is one of the greatest of all time. They got every time the marketing pro comes in here, he has to bring up Lawrence Taylor's name. He used to do that even before Verse got there. It was also Lawrence Taylor versus Aaron Donald. Marketing pro has never seen Lawrence Taylor play. Aaron Donald is not Lawrence Taylor. And this kid Verse, he's not even Aaron Donald yet. Of course, Aaron Donald did win ahead and said he's better than he is, but that's not true. So, the Rams are. I suspect it has something to do with the fact that down through the years, they've always been in the 49ers' shadow. 49ers did what they did, and the Rams have been that other team down in SoCal that only has had individual stars. Eric Dickerson's one of the greatest running backs of all time. Even I agree with that. Watching him run that ball was a thing of beauty. I've never seen a guy float across air like that, except for maybe Moses in the pictures I've seen of him parting the sea. But the thing is, they've always been trying. They have that little engine that tried but couldn't. And then you had the 49ers in the 80s stacking up and putting in the bank trophies that they'll never catch up with, so they're pissed off about that. So we hear about them all the time. But, the Cardinals, we both got to worry about them. What is going on with the Cardinals? Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here, buddy.
Well, Eric, okay, and also the Giants now are not going to give up 2 first-round. Would you 3 first-round picks? Brock Purdy is a decent quarterback, but I don't know why the Giants would be giving up a couple of first-round picks and just switch 1 pick with us this year. Take us from 11 to 3. In the following 2 years, we'd have 2 more picks, first-rounders. And the way the Giants are going to finish for the next 2 years after that, we'd be sitting pretty. Hey, you know what's so funny, though, Eric? We all agree that if the Giants did come in with that deal, Brock, we love you. We hope you do well in New York. Bye, Brock. Yeah, it would happen. You have to.
A buddy of mine who's a KC fan was talking about what the heck? What is this with CMC going to KC? What is that all about?
Wait, who's going to KC?
I thought he was saying something about CMC. The pathway? What's that all about?
I don't know. I'm not seeing now. When I go to the dailies, I don't really. CMC would. Well, they've got a running back over there they kind of like that's not so expensive. Eric, what we've got to understand each and every year, this time of year, writers, analysts, all the social media shows and everything like that, they're reaching. Kyle Shanahan, you would get CMC away from him through his cold, dead hands. That would throw everything he's got planned into the garbage, and Kyle might get up and walk away. Because he's showing me he doesn't have a lot of dimension when it comes to doing what he does. I mean, if he goes into the season, Kyle Shanahan, if he goes into the season knowing that he's going to be building a team, he's another kind of Kyle Shanahan. If you take away everything he's built for the last 8-9 years, and tell him, all right, Kyle, do what you do. Well, Kyle. I can see him now. Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop. Don't worry about the money you owe me. I'm just going to go ahead and walk away, and wish you the best of luck. So no, CMC is not going to Kansas City. I would bet against that. So where did you hear that from?
But a buddy of mine thought he heard it. I didn't quite believe it.
Did he give sources on that?
No, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, he's just making things up. And also the Kansas City's got money problems too. They're not in a position to make that kind of deal.
Yeah, I don't think he's killing there either.
We'll give him.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We might want to give him. Let's see. What did Kansas City have? They're 32. The Kansas City Chiefs aren't. Who would take a deal from the Kansas City Chiefs? I can't imagine that. At 31, should I say? No, Kansas City Chiefs aren't going to. And also, you're not going to get a good draft. Kansas City's not going to stay in the bowels of the NFL. Eric, where do you think the Chiefs are going to finish next year?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
I say they rebound next year. Now, they may not. The AFC, it looks frightening again. The Broncos, Peyton's, he's going to get that team back on track. Harbaugh over in Chargerville, they're not going to sit down low too much longer either. I don't know what the Raiders are doing, but they seem pretty busy. I don't suspect the Raiders are probably going to still draw the last position, but I don't see Kansas City being any less than second or third. They're not going to the basement, and they still have Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, that's going to be a fun division to watch. So, what are they going to do now? So, Eric, I think what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Hey, we're probably going to let's wrap this. I'm going to be back Friday, and I'll be looking for you then. All right.
Have a good night, everybody.
You too. And finally, Brian Cope finally gets his chance. Brian, get in here, man. Production's always.
Hey, Ronbo.
Yeah, Brian.
I am so glad you let me on. I know it's been a long time. I've been working 12 hours every day of the week, days. It's crazy. The mail never stops. So if you folks hear what I say, the mail never stops. But
well, now we know what you're doing.
no, the 49ers news never stops as well. And if you're going to blame a kicker for losing a game, then I guess you really don't have a good offense, do you?
Yeah, I know.
Because the offense should be able to score a touchdown, right? We shouldn't rely on a kicker to punch it in. And if we're kicking a field goal from 60 yards out, then really, who are we joking? Who are we kidding with, right? We drafted a kicker really high to be able to make these kicks. He came in after he was hurt, and he tried his best. He made, 11 out of 20 kicks after he was hurt? So if you're going to blame a kicker for losing a game, then you really need to point the finger at your face because the offense didn't do their job, right? So, yeah, cut the kicker. Let's get a new kicker. But does cutting the kicker, Ronbo, this is my question to you. Does it make Brock Purdy throw the ball more than 30 yards? How far can Brock Purdy really truly throw the throw? Can he throw it 40 yards? 40 yards? And I'm not talking about yards after the catch. I'm not talking about, Kittle throwing, picking up a ball from him and running 50 yards down the field and making a 75-yard touchdown. No, how far can Brock Purdy really throw the ball? And if we want to sign him to our franchise and make him our quarterback for the next 3 to 5 years, then why are we going to give him $100 million or $200 million or however much if he can't even throw the ball 30 yards? So, Ronbo, I'm going to stop, and I want you to answer that. How far can Ronbo, how far can Brock Purdy really throw the ball?
Well, in fact, Brian, I gotta disagree a little bit. There wasn't a lot of yak yards last year.
Yak yards doesn't matter though. How far can he throw the ball?
He wasn't just
stand back there and throw it 75 yards and nail it. Well, we need you to throw 75 yards to the end zone, or are you relying for a Devo or a Kittle or CMC to pick up 45 or 50 yards and make like 6 people, miss a tackle?
Yeah, no. As I said, I didn't see a lot of yak activity last year. Every now and then, it wasn't as often as usual. It has been for the last few years. I've seen it make some pretty good throws, Brian. For distance, no. I've seen receivers have to slow down to catch the ball. That's not.
And let me point out real quick. Let me point out 49er Brian, because you're really funny in the comments and shit. But as far as, really answer the question, dude, how far can Brock Purdy really throw the ball? Because when you're asking a quarterback to, get paid $55 million a year and he can't throw 50 yards, I mean, we're not even getting $55 million out of him. Like, if he can't throw 50 yards, we're asking a player to come in out and, get yards after the catch, and we've cut all these players that are supposed to be, yards after the catch, so you're gonna sign a quarterback to 55 million or 60 million, and you're going to blame the kicker. So is that what we're going to do this next year? Honestly, Ronbo, are we going to sign Brock Purdy and then blame Jake Moody for missing all these kicks because Brock Purdy didn't get the job done? Like, if you're going to sign a quarterback to 55 or 60 million dollars, you think he can elevate the team, right? And if he can't throw 50 yards, then what are we really doing? This is a rebuild, a retool, or refool.
Well, I don't think he's going to get paid $60 million. He's going to be somewhere north of 45. I suggest that he probably gets – Brock might get 51 or 52, and they might give him an incentive package. I really don't see that, Brian.
51 or 52. Would you really give him more than Sam Darnold? Ronbo, honestly.
Well, yeah, because he's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. I mean, he's proven he's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. Brian,
how many games did Sam Darnold win last year compared to Brock Purdy? And Brock Purdy was supposed to have a better team.
Did he have a better team last year, you think, though?
Did he? I mean, you had Debo Samuel. You had all these players on it. The 49ers are supposed to contend for a Super Bowl. And Sam Darnold comes out of nowhere and almost goes to the Super Bowl, but he has a bad game in the playoffs. And you're going to give Brock Purdy all this money over what Sam Darnold's going to get? And Sam Darnold can still throw the ball further than this guy?
Well, because I'm only going by being able to do more than just throw the ball hard. Also, if you got JJ on your team, and actually Jefferson had a running mate on the team, both those guys are damn good. They had a satisfactory running game. Brian, I'm going to have to say that if you got everything being equal, if you give Brock all his weapons back versus Sam Darnold, I kind of think Brock's going to beat him. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Think so, your opinion is fine, but if you look at it, Sam Darnold went to a different team, and he played better, right? And everybody thought his career was over. Everybody thought his career was just garbage.
Yeah.
And he went to the Vikings and almost got them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, we didn't make the playoffs last year with Brock Purdy. We were hoping that he was going to overcome everything with all of our adversaries and everything that happened, all of the injuries and everything that happened. Brock Purdy was, and now we're saying, oh, well, last year was a mulligan, right? We don't need to worry about that. This guy's going to be able to carry us to the Super Bowl or to the playoffs without lesser talent. So you're going to go and pay this guy more money than somebody who actually was proving and got to the Super Bowl with a different team. So this is my next question to you, Ronbo. And I'm not yelling at you. I love you.
No,
you and me are.
I'm listening.
I want to ask you my next question. My next question is why would you pay somebody more money that had more success somewhere else than with somebody with Shanahan? Shanahan is the quarterback whisperer. As much as we want to say, oh, no, because he didn't get done in Atlanta. He didn't get it done in Cleveland. He came to San Francisco. We had Jimmy. We had all these other quarterbacks. But now you got Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy's asking for a massive contract like Brandon Allen, right, who can run over teams. And this guy, again, Brock Purdy, I like Brock Purdy, but is he going to elevate the team where we need it? No. If you pay the dude $60 million or $55 million or $40 million or $30 million, $30 million is too high. And if you guys are really, truly 49er fans and you really want to get into it, are you really thinking about it, or are you thinking about the jersey you bought? You're thinking about the jersey you bought.
Who's our next quarterback after Purdy if he leaves? Answer that question.
What about Purdy? Purdy's not a quarterback. He was the last quarterback in the draft.
You're laughable. You're not a fan.
No, you're laughable. Kick rocks, dude. It's my time right now.
All right,
no,
you're
my time right now. I've been calling it here longer than you have.
Guys,
all right?
You're an idiot.
Purdy, tell me what you want. Well, guess what? Purdy isn't worth $30 million. All
right.
And you know what? If the 49ers pay him $30 million, then guess what? We're going to be in the same situation we were last year.
Brian, you know what? We got to stop, though. Your point's taken, and you're not all wrong. There's some of it might be easy to disagree with, but I understand what you're thinking about. Guys, you need to understand, Brian is a kicker himself. This is why don't bother him about Jake Moody. Brian, I do agree. Jake Moody played better before he got hurt, but we got to go.
Okay, and let's go into that real quick, Ronbo.
No,
Jake Moody played good.
Brian,
got hurt. He got hurt.
Okay, Brian, I'm sorry. We got to stop because we got to stop the show soon. Brian, hold that energy. I'll be back Friday. Tommy.
BC, man, what's going on?
I've never seen Brian fired up like that. What'd you guys do to him? He's always cool, calm, and collected. He is really unhinged tonight.
Everything you said, and then I don't know. I agree with a lot of stuff he says, but lately not. I hate Jake Moody. I think the guy is soft. He's mentally soft. He's got a strong leg, but that doesn't mean shit. If you're like all messed up in your head, like no confidence whatsoever. I mean, but I have a feeling if we cut him, he's going to be successful elsewhere. But
no, and I bet you're right too. Jake just needs to get his confidence back. I don't think he's a bad kicker. I just think the injury, and Brian, I think everybody's like that. If you get hurt, you start to favor that injury. He's probably afraid to extend. He's probably afraid to do a lot of things. He needed time off. He couldn't get it. He's got time off now. If Jake Moody comes back in looking bad this season, I'd be a little surprised. I think he wants to prove himself.
He got it. He said almost go to Super. Let me switch things here.
Right. Tommy? Because
is that better?
No, yeah, I can still hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I had to switch my thing out.
Okay.
What was he saying? Yeah, if he's not good, he's gone. Next year. So anyway, but and about Purdy, it's the Sam Darnold. They almost went to the Super Bowl. No, you have to win one game in the playoffs to almost go to the Super Bowl. Sorry, I mean the Rams almost went to the Super Bowl because they almost,
actually
they won one game.
Tommy, I hate to say it, but the Rams gave the Eagles more competition than anybody else they played, which really pisses
they
me
did.
off. God damn. You know what? It was
but
in
I really
the snow.
think they were. Yeah, I thought the game was over in the third, and I think the Eagles did too, so they kind of let their guard down, and they almost just choked it up.
Don't ever
That's
do that
what I
again.
think,
Yeah.
But who the hell am I?
Yeah.
But anyway, Sam Darnold's not. Yeah, he's not good. I'm sorry. He's good, but he's not better than Brock Purdy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that's one of
Just
those
because
things.
you could throw 50 yards. Could Montana throw 50 yards? I mean, if he wanted to, he could.
Yeah,
but
it's more than just throwing the ball 50 yards. It's about accuracy. Yeah. It's about timing.
Look,
Look at
Trey Lance could probably throw 80 yards, but the guy's
no doubt. Yeah, he's another guy. Kaepernick, same way. They could throw the ball out of the stadium, but you got to be able to do better than that, though. You got to be able to find that receiver. You got to be able to work with them. You got to put. It's all about timing.
And I guarantee you, Purdy could throw he could throw 50 yards if he wanted to.
Yeah, the thing with Brock, it's touch. He's always putting touch on his throws, and people mistake that for him having a weak arm. When he's trying to lay the ball into a spot, like Mark Laciano, people thought, that shot he threw when we played against the Hawks, that layered shot that went between two receivers for Ayuk to run right under it, I've actually never seen a throw better than that from anybody. That was like defied gravity, the laws of a lot of things. I still don't see how that happened, but it did, and Brock threw it.
Yeah, but
so
But Sam Darnold had a great year, so a PC, I agree. And then, and the other thing is, it's just rewarding the quarterback for going 6-11 is not really customary, but
no.
But I mean, it wasn't completely his fault, but. Even Montana said he just didn't see any receivers getting open.
No. And the offensive line wasn't giving him any. Can you imagine that, Tommy? The offensive line is giving you jack time to find anybody, and the receivers aren't doing a good job getting open either. And Juwan Jennings had a great job because he would beat somebody up to catch the ball. Brock trusted him, so he threw it over there. So, yeah.
But he did make some bad decisions. That Rams game, whatever that last interception is, on first down, you can't do that.
He did. Forcing balls in the windows.
People are allowed to. Yeah, we're allowed to have down years. I mean, it wasn't our year anyway, so.
Yeah.
But
offensively or
I'd
defensively?
like to see another year. But it's his contract year, and I mean, the market is what it is. I mean, if they didn't get. If he takes something like, let's say, 45, I mean, the players' union, they would have a field day with that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if the standard's
that's another
set,
thing.
Yeah, you can't go too far below it. That's whether the position calls for that. That's what I'm saying. It's not exactly just what you think he's worth. It's what the market says.
Yeah.
Hopefully the 49ers can get away with less than 55. I hope the 49ers can get 50. I want that to be – the floor starts at 45 and expands to 50. Hopefully that's going to be it.
Sam is due 187.
He needs guys around him like every quarterback, but more so in this case. Because quite frankly, Tommy, Kyle Shanahan's not going to let you, even if you could – you're not going to run his team. Kyle's going to run his team. You do as you're told. That's the way it is.
Paul, you know what the hell you're talking about. What is he doing? $60 million for? He doesn't elevate. He's elevated everybody. He elevated. Let's see. Kittle's career went sky high.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk first became All Pro. I mean, come on.
No, Apollo's. He's
What
hoping.
What do you want?
No, he just goes off on tangents. He's hoping that Brock gets 70. I think he's a Ram fan. The Rams are praying for anything that can happen bad enough so they can actually win. So Apollo, him and a few others.
Apollo, he could. I don't know.
They got to say things like this.
I don't think you can't find another Brock. I mean, he was a needle. No one thought he was going to be anything. That's why he was the last pick of the draft.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. That happens every 20 years.
If that.
Like Tom Brady in the 6th.
Yeah, Tom Brady, about 20
wait a minute, was that?
20 years. Yeah.
It was like 20-some years.
Yeah. It's not going to happen again.
Wait,
especially
was that
nowadays.
20? Was that 2021? Yeah. So it was kind of around 20-some years.
Yeah. So Brock Purdy gets a lot of flack for last year. I do think it's unfair because the 2 years before that, he was looking good. I mean, the guy was really looking good. So I'll wait. I want to see what it looks like
Apollo,
this year.
with that rationale, then CMC kind of CMC elevated Jimmy G too, right? Because
absolutely.
he was playing. He played the best football of his career that first part of 2022.
Yeah.
Where he was passing the ball great.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
But in 2019, he didn't really have to do much.
Yeah.
Okay, 2019 and 2022 were Jimmy's best years, I think.
Yeah. Because he got hurt for one of them.
Well,
Tom, we got to go.
1.5.
I got to close shop here. Always great to hear from you, Tom.
Yeah.
We'll see you Friday, okay?
Yeah, I'm on spring break, so
all right.
I have the week off. So.
Good. All right. Have a good time, and I'll see you Friday. All right, Tommy. Good night, fam.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Let's go.
Take care.
All right, you too. Hey, yo, Tony.
What's happening, Ronbo?
Tony, Armageddon, man. I mean, I started off asking about Carton doing some mad things and making videos about the Giants giving up 3 first-round picks, which was already hilarious. And then, of course, the 49ers would sign Aaron Rodgers. We'd live happily ever after. I mean, the thing is, though, the 3 first-round picks, if it were even remotely going possible to happen, you got to take that, though. Nobody's going to argue against that. But that's not going to happen. And Aaron Rodgers, I think a lot of us have grown weary of Aaron Rodgers' antics the last 3 or 4 years to the point where you can't imagine him bringing that show to San Francisco. But you know what? Tony, go ahead. What are you thinking?
Well, I said to you, Ronbo, why did they sign this guy?
What did they sign?
No. What's his name? The backup, so-called backup quarterback.
Mackie Jones.
Man, we were talking about that a couple of shows ago. But, I mean, everyone's arguing with each other for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Because if Brock Purdy was going to get traded, the whole thing would be predicated. I mean, the entire league, commentators and everybody else that's not on the 49ers team always claims that it's never our quarterback that does the job. It's Kyle's system. Right? They always say it. They always say, well, it's not the 49ers quarterback. It's Kyle's system that works.
Mac Jones said it. Yeah.
With this kid being the last pick in the draft and then allegedly proving that they can take a team to the playoffs with any quarterback as long as he listens to Kyle and learns Kyle's system, it's on that notion that Purdy will get traded and not get whatever he wants. Not on anything else. And if Kyle has conveyed that to management, upper management, ownership, and said, mate, I can do the same thing I did with Purdy with Mac Jones. Okay, well, if you can get a first-round pick for him, get rid of him. Get another kid in the draft or, somebody else, whatever, put him in.
Good point.
And we'll go from there.
They've already got him. I think they feel like they could do that with Mac Jones. I really do.
No, I'm
I
saying
think
if
Kyle
they
does.
put Mac Jones as a starter, get another kid, as a backup.
Which would
because
be the
these
case if you
guys,
get 3 first-round picks, or even 2 first-round picks.
yeah, even 2. I mean, it's the same. Like these guys are saying to the rest of the entire league, look, we don't care how much you pay your quarterbacks. We've got the guru on our side, and he can do it with any quarterback as long as he's got 2 legs and 2 arms and a brain. No problem. Right? That's the narrative. Is it true? Who the hell knows? You know what I mean? Because we've gone through a few quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of the day, it's the excuse has always been Kyle's never ever got the quarterback he always wanted.
Yeah, we haven't heard that in a while, but yeah, I remember that was every year. He'd be out hunting and shopping in the off season. That's true. I haven't heard that in a while. And you just reminded me, yeah.
When something happens that doesn't go the 49ers' way, we come back to that. Kyle's never had the quarterback he's always wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when everything goes right, and we get to the playoffs, it's not the quarterback, it's Kyle's system. Which one is it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I so agree.
Which one is it? Come on, guys, you got to make up your mind. Which one is it? Got to be one. Can't be, when times are bad, it's this. When times are good, it's that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, preach. I mean, that is the gospel truth. We waffle back and forth on that. I mean, when he was doing well, look at all the players he's got around him. When he's doing bad, it's him. I said, that's, guys, all those guys.
Because, this establishment or Kyle Shanahan himself or whoever the hell is pushing that narrative of saying, we don't need a Patrick Mahomes or, that type of caliber quarterback. We can do it with a rookie. Okay, well, if you can do it with a rookie, get rid of the kid. Let's see you.
Well, they've had a few rookies.
If I was ownership, if that's what he's saying to me, I'd say, mate, if you can do it with a rookie, get rid of this guy and let's see you do it this year. Right? Let's see you. If you do it, you know what, Kyle, I'll keep you for another 10 years. If you don't, next year, see you later, buddy, because I'm sick of your horse shit.
Yeah. Comes down to that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as simple as
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Apply logic to everything, but nobody wants to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Including these idiots that talk about football and just use Kyle Shanahan as clickbait. Or the team, or the quarterback, or whatever the case may be. But the reality of the goddamn matter is, at the very, very least, on the offensive line, we need a center and a right tackle. That's the very, very least. To stop this kid from running, or whoever it is, whether it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy, to stop the quarterback running for his life. Because if the quarterback's running for his life, he ain't going to no Super Bowl, and you're not going to no bloody playoffs. You're just not.
No.
I'm sorry, but you're not.
I agree.
Or if you do, you're going to look like Kermit the Frog in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
they're going to flog you.
That was embarrassing. Wow. Just killed
Well, that just proves, Ronbo, even the best of the best can't do it without an offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if you need reassurance of that, well, go and ask Joe Montana or Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right?
And Tom, that last year before Tom left, he had the same problem. He was under siege, under center as well. So there is no such thing as a quarterback that's going to do well without any offensive line protection. It's just not going to happen. And defenses love
And
it.
nobody can say that he won 7 Super Bowls with no offensive line, running around like a blue-ass fly.
Absolutely not. In fact, Brady won a couple of
Well,
them. Brady
there you go.
defensive teams. Yeah.
you know, if we want to talk facts, we can talk facts. If we want to talk fantasy, well, that's a totally different thing, you know, because the fantasy is in your brain. It's not real.
Mm.
The game of football is played in a certain manner, and certain things have to be in place for it to be, for your quarterback to be successful.
Absolutely. And they were.
And unfortunately, our biggest problems, and like some other people have said, we should have 2 Super Bowls. We should. We don't have an offensive line, and we refuse to address it all the time. We've been screaming for an offensive line since Red and Gold radio.
I know. Tony, you know what? I want to see. I can't wait till the draft to see if they do really realize that's the case. We got to stop, though. Tony, I'm gonna be out. It looks like I'll be out this week. They got me actually having to do a number of things I don't really want to do. But listen, I'm going to get it done and be back Friday. This is
You're
life,
the man of the house, brother. Put your foot down.
Damn it. No, it's outside forces. But anyway, Tony, always appreciate you. I'll see you Friday, all right?
All right, brother. Shout out to Evan Ellis, Big Show, Papa Dragon, the rest of the mob, 49 Brian, and Smooth, and catch you in the next chapter, brother.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
See what happens.
All right, Tony. Cheers.
All right, bro. Cheers.
All right. And Mr. Block Eyes, special teams. Come on, Moody. I don't know. How's the punter? And you know what? We're still. Mitch Wisnowski is another guy that has gone invisible. We don't know what's going on with Mitch. His back went out on him last year, as we all know, and not a peep or word since. Not even a progress report on how he's doing. That's frightening. When Brian says, "Watch film, player." Jeremy's definitely asleep. Is that him? Yeah. Let's not bother him. He might be tired. All right. Jeremy?
Yeah.
Was that you? Come on in, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, we didn't mean to wake you up though. Was that?
No, I wasn't asleep. I just wait my turn patiently.
I love the way you relax. It sounded real comfortable. Jeremy, come on in, man. Because
well, see, what gets me is everybody keeps talking about how bad Purdy is.
Yeah,
Why? And he has no arm, but yet he throws more deep throws and more accurate than anybody.
It's actually charted and recorded that way too. So
So I don't see where the arm comes into issue. Because he has most deep passes.
Yeah. Did he 4,000 yards and had a bad year? Didn't play 17 weeks either.
Yeah. It ain't the quarterback. People need to get over it.
Yeah.
There's other things besides the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I can tell people he's going to get paid his 55 to 60 million. They can get over it.
Yeah.
So what if he's last pick of the draft? We got him cheap. We should have enjoyed it.
We did. We tried. We tried to capitalize on it too, Jeremy. We got to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They snapped his arm like a chicken wing the year before. Those same guys over in Philadelphia. But last year, the year before last, that was supposed to be our year, and we didn't make it. And then last year, the 49ers just ran down, Jeremy. You can't go in deep into the playoffs every year and expect that to go on forever. The Chiefs will tell you the same thing. So, you just got to fall down. They'll be fine.
Eventually, we got people are right. We got to face facts. We got to get with the offensive line. It don't matter who we have as quarterback if we don't got an offensive line. It just don't matter. You're going to lose. And we don't have a good offensive line.
Well, that's an understatement.
We just don't.
We're just awful. But there's a couple of guys. I mean, you got Trent, you got Pony, but you can't do it with just 2 guys and no rotation either. And offensive linemen don't rotate. They stay in there and hurt you all game long.
Yeah. I mean, what we got? We got a left tackle and a guard.
And Brindle's suspected
center. It takes more than 2 people to run the offensive line.
It really does.
We need to address the offensive line instead of heck of everything else.
Yeah.
You got your defensive coach back.
Yeah.
So
Jeremy, I can't wait to see how that
unfolds.
What they're going to look like on defense. Robert Saleh can get people to play better, the Jets' defense was a little better than it should have been. Personnel-wise, they had about 2 or 3 guys that were really outstanding, but they were just straight nails.
And you know, we're rebuilt. We're you know, we're in a time of rebuilding. You know, you can't. Your players don't last forever.
Yeah, we proved that.
You know, we still got a core of great players.
Especially
offensively. You know, everybody was injured last year.
Yeah.
You know, we got to address the offensive line, and then we'll go to the Super Bowl. Not until then.
Yeah.
They can say what they want, but we're not going to do it till we address the offensive line.
No, that's true. But in the meantime, until they do, Kyle and Brock are going to bear the brunt of the hatred. That's the way it goes.
Yep.
I've seen that for years, and I always said, I don't know that the coach and quarterback were going to make that kind of difference. There's things going on around them. They can't beat teams by themselves. Brock, of course.
And everybody says he didn't get the quarterback they wanted. Well, he got the quarterback he wanted. He got Lance, and that didn't work out over shit.
Yeah.
And they can say what they want to, but it didn't work out over shit.
No, it didn't. It sure didn't.
They got Purdy the last pick, and it worked out. Shit happens.
Yeah. So, and Jeremy, what I worry about too is Kyle sort of threw his hands up in the air last year. I didn't say too much about it because Kyle was getting beat up so bad I didn't want to throw in on that. But once he lost all his people, Kyle did take his foot off the gas. And he was getting pissed off on the sideline. You could tell his frustration had overflown, and Kyle just got to the point he said, bleep this. I mean, I'm just, they're not going to get it done. And he just gave up. This is a character issue I didn't know about Kyle Shanahan. I was a little disappointed in that. I'm just hoping this year that he doesn't do that and let me get faith in him again, or gain faith in him again.
I mean, how like that? We got a great quarterback. I mean, he's done statistically better than any quarterback we've ever had.
Yeah.
You know, if we can't see that, then something's wrong with us as fans. I mean, statistics are statistics. The best quarterback we've had since John Montana and Steve Young, statistically.
Yeah,
actually, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, in another couple of years, that will be absolutely statistically correct too, because he's caught up. Him and Jimmy were neck and neck for a second. I think he surpassed Jimmy this past season, even in a bad year. Also, we had the other guy, but Brock's got to have the same guys. Brock had different people out there every week last year as far as offense went too, and still he got it done with just Jennings half the time. Jennings can't do it by himself though, and the running game got took down after about 6 or 7 weeks as well. So these things are things they play into what's going to happen. The quarterback can't help that.
The quarterback can't do everything. There's 11 players. Yes, is he the biggest part? Yes, but there's 11 other players.
Yeah. So we're going to find out this year, though. I don't know what they're going to. Jeremy, I can't wait to see what they do in the draft, though. Lynch is going out and telling everybody.
That's what I'm waiting.
I know, right? Lynch is telling people, no, we're going to replace. We have a plan. There is this thing called the draft, and we're planning on replacing every last one of those people we just let go. Hey, John, I would have kept that under my hat for now, though. I wouldn't have said anything with that. Now people are going to be looking at that draft and you. If you come up short,
you're screwed.
Yeah, here they come, John. That's not what you said. Jeremy, it's good to hear from you. Jeremy, you've been gone for a while. We got to go now, though.
Yeah, I don't call in all the time.
Yeah.
When I see something important, I'll call in. I'm not going to bug you to death because I appreciate the platform you put out here for us.
Well, thanks, Jeremy.
I want you to continue to do it.
Well, I appreciate your family.
Give some of them other people a chance to talk too.
It's always fun to listen to you.
Even if they are Ram fans.
Aren't they special?
Can't we just line them up and shoot them along with the KFC people?
Don't line them up, just shoot them. Jeremy, I'll be back Friday, though. If you appreciate the subject matter, get in here. I'll love hearing from you. We like to hear you talk anyway.
Thank you.
Something comfortable. All right, Jeremy. Do have a great night.
Bye-bye.
And we'll see you then. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Val. We got here left. Bill's got a little bit of a drawl too, actually. Yo, Bill.
Ronbo.
Come on in, man.
It's really bad that you're coming on Friday because I had the guy set up for the next time you were coming on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Ooh, that's right. We talked about that the other day. Yeah, I got taken down.
I spoke with his dad today. I found a little bit of backstory on what happened last season, with whole Trent being out and all that. And I was like, he wasn't injured. It was pretty much Kyle. I'm gonna tell a little bit of it. I'm gonna let him tell the rest. Set him down for the year, and just said it was an injury, whatever. But Trent's healthy. He'd be around possibly. I was talking to him. He was talking about 5 seasons, brother. 5 seasons. His dad.
Yeah.
So we may not be looking for life after Trent, but we're going to be looking for life to help Trent. But I'm going to get his dad. I need to know. So you're going to be on Friday. So he might not be on Friday. We'll have to do it somewhere during the week. He's helping out with his his woman, and all that. Talk to his dad. And I'm trying to get Trent to come up because Trent's originally from where I'm at right now, in Texas. I'm not dropping location. Maybe if we were talking, I would let you know. But I'm going to see if Trent swings by, if I can get a good old Trent Williams and his dad. Then sometime sit down and you guys can talk and you ask questions.
Oh, that'd really be a great thing. You know what, though? You just said something. Kyle may have set Trent down knowing that we weren't going anywhere and trying to preserve him for next year. That makes all the sense in the world. Now, CMC really was hurt, but he tried to play.
Sorry defensive coordinator. He knew that we had a really trashy defensive coordinator. That guy was he couldn't even coach a Little League. And what really hurt, I found out I saw him also a little bit behind the scenes on Debo. Trent and Debo were really close. He kind of ruined a good friendship, Debo did. Debo wanted out. We weren't going to trade Debo. Debo wanted out.
I know. Well, he made that clear. Yeah. Well, he didn't appreciate. He thought he was getting disrespected because we weren't throwing the ball to him. And then when you did throw the ball to him, bouncing off his chest up in the air and getting picked off, otherwise bouncing and hitting the dirt.
He shouldn't have held last season. That's what everybody was telling him. Don't worry about the last season. It was a wash. We had a garbage defensive coordinator. He should have rolled it out this year. It would have been all good. And we lost some key players, but there's some good ones that are coming. And he wasn't going to spoil it, but he might spoil it when you interview him. But I'm knowing that we're looking forward to possibly a really better year than we think. Possibly something more magical than you think.
Because people think the 49ers are going to go 3 in 14. I don't know about that now.
I can't
imagine that.
I can't, Ronbo. I can't. I'm after talking with his dad and might meet him. I'm really thinking we could go really deep than people think. People are going to underestimate us. We have an easy schedule. The team, there's some people on the team that are mad at some of the people that left, and they're going to get a ring and say, look, you should have stayed on the ship instead of jump off. And I'm finding out that Purdy's going to get paid. You're getting paid $60 to $70 million
Oh, Bill,
per year.
now, wait a minute. Oh, it's $670? No way. He's not going to reset the market.
It's going to be deep. It's going to be big, man. He getting that contract. He getting that big contract. We ain't losing Purdy. Purdy not getting traded. I don't want to have to break that, but he's not getting traded.
Right,
he's staying on the team, and he's getting his money. He's getting his big bucks that he wants.
So how do we know what he wants? Brock's probably fine with. I can't imagine him needing $70 million.
In the 60s, it's going to be big. We're not going to be. I'm telling you, man, you're going to be a little shocked. But like I said, I'm going to let him be the one.
Yeah.
We got to be talking about can't get this and that. He's getting it.
Not about
but my thing is, when you get the money, Purdy, you better step it up. And I'm going to be able to hopefully talk to the guy. I'm going to be talking to Trent, trying to set up a meeting with good old Purdy as well.
to have a little convo. We need a Super Bowl ring. You want all this money? Let's get it. Let's do it. Let's get pumped. Let's get hyped. Go out and get that Super Bowl ring. And hey, I'm the first to eat the crumb. You know, that's how I'm going to put it out there. You know,
Right.
I just want to see, huh?
No, the shock would be if we get to the playoffs next year. I'm already going to be like, you know, I didn't see this coming. I said this team has got to go through a transition at least. I'd like to see 10 or 11 wins. That means we got a lot of new personnel. It's not satisfying, but it's to be in my mind it's to be expected. But if they get into playoffs, I'm saying, you know, when we go to the playoffs, what do? We don't stop until the NFCCG. So the first two teams can say goodnight right now, and let's see what happens. We'll find out.
Yeah, that would be magical. That would be beautiful, Ronbo. But yeah, so you're going to be on Friday. When's the next time after Friday you're going to be on?
No, normally it should be a normal week after that. This week is pretty bad, but the week following that should be that's first week of April. Yeah, that following week should be back to normal. 3 days, two
All right,
times
well,
a
then
week.
I have to let you know because I was scheduled this Tuesday and Wednesday, which he goes on the meeting down from where I'm living. They party and all that. I'm gonna go up there and talk with him for a minute, let him know that it's gonna be pushed up a week, and
All right.
because I was expecting that. That's why I was listening to pay attention. Thank goodness I did. But you know, hey, like I said, Rumble, be stoked, be excited. I'm trying to get the meeting with good old Trent too, because it's dad. You know, maybe we could get both Dad and Trent, and you know, kick it over here and I get some pictures, and then maybe if I can set something up for you to get a picture with them.
Oh, I love it. It sounds exciting. All right.
Hey, Ronbo, you started this back in the old days. Let's have a little fun. Let's have a 49er shout out. And you know what's better than a 49er shout out?
What?
How about them Cowboys?
That was good timing on that joke. I love it because the Cowboys are a joke, and they're fighting amongst themselves. And Mika, I mean, you got people telling Mika to shut the hell up, like Michael Irvin. You know what's so funny, Bill? All those old Cowboys, you know, they're still loyal to Jerry. They still feel like if you're going to be a Dallas Cowboy, you should be like feeling privileged about it. It means a lot to put that star on your helmet. Mika, shut the hell up. I did love that. Here we go. Niners! Big Bill. Bill, hey, we'll see you next week.
49er fans, be stoked, be excited. Because you know, instead of getting all upset, we need to be happy because we spoiled. At least we ain't those Cowboys.
Yes,
have a nice night.
There it is. Night, Bill. Shut Hall, come on in, man.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Shut up. You're up, man. Sitting here waiting on you.
Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up, Ronbo? I love your show, man. I love everything you do.
Well, thanks.
Hey,
Yeah.
you keep it entertaining and interactive. That's what I like about this show on YouTube.
Yeah, we get some
You keep
great
it
people
entertaining, man. do a great job, man. I commend you on what you're doing right now.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, about Brock Purdy, there's no way we're trading Brock Purdy, man. Like, are you freaking kidding me, bro? Like, are all the people are like they gotta stop this right now? Like, they gotta stop this for once and all. We're not trading Brock Purdy, man. Like, we're not trading him. Like, he ain't going anywhere. He's staying on the Niners. He's gonna be a Niner for life.
Ooh,
Brock
that's
Purdy.
special. That's serious. I mean, it's
He
hard
is
to
not
be,
going anywhere. So if all you dumbass pieces of shit think Brock Purdy's gonna leave this team, you gotta stop that. You gotta stop that. Like you gotta just take that out. You can't be thinking like that, man. He's a great quarterback. I mean, he's gonna lead us next year, but all these people are saying that trade Brock Purdy, stop that. Like just stop it. I'm not going to take stuff like that, like going after my quarterback. Stop that.
Well,
he's my quarterback, and he's always going to be my quarterback, always.
Yeah. Well,
he's always going to be my quarterback. I'm always going to be big. I'm always gonna be a big Deebo Samuel fan, even though he went to the Commanders. I'm still gonna be a big Deebo fan.
Good. I mean,
'Cause
Deebo
that's
gave
my
us a lot of
boy.
good times. Yeah.
Cause that's my boy. That's my boy. Deebo's my boy.
Yeah.
I love my boy.
Well,
I'll back him up every time. I'll always be there for him.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, we'll still,
That's
we'll
the
still be able
meaning
to
of
see
a
him.
true fan.
Yeah.
That's the meaning of a true fan, right?
Well, yeah. Well,
right?
Loyalty.
Is that the meaning of a true fan?
Yes.
Supporting your boy and depending on whichever team he goes to.
Absolutely.
I'll literally buy a ticket to go. I'll buy a command. I'll buy a. I'll buy a watch. I'll buy a ticket to a Commanders game. I'll go and see Deebo. People are gonna think I'm crazy for doing that, but I'll say like, dude, he's my favorite player on the Niners. I don't care if you guys think I'm crazy to buy a ticket to the Commanders game and go to Washington D.C.
Hey, Chanel, would you be rooting for Deebo if they come to the Levi Stadium and play the 49ers? Would you be yelling, Deebo! Deebo! And wearing, what jersey are you going to be wearing? Deebo's jersey?
Number 19.
Number 19. Is it going to be a Niners 19 or Deebo's new number in Washington?
No, Niners number 19.
Okay, so you remain. Oh, I see. You know what? Actually, you might have company. A lot of people love Deebo. Hell, I love Deebo. He bothered me last season, but I don't hate him.
I mean, as a 49er fan, I don't know why people are attacking Brock Purdy. Like, he's not, like, that's nonsensical. He's not going anywhere. So, that's out the door already. Like, that idea is not happening.
No,
he's not going anywhere. So if all you fans think that he's going away, eliminate that from your mind. That is just the most absurd thing I've ever heard from anybody. Like, why would you say that?
Yeah, well.
Like, he's our quarterback. He got selected in the draft. He's having such a great year. Just have some faith in the guy. Believe in the guy. If you don't believe in the guy will just say he's staying because everybody's supporting him. But if people start saying things like, we want to see Brock Purdy gone, he's going to feel like, I don't have no support behind me. I'll rather leave the team and go somewhere else. Nobody's going to supporting me. Nobody's giving me love. Nobody's, always being there for me. He's going to say, I don't want to be on this team. I'm going somewhere else. These guys don't support me. Like, why would he want to stay, right?
No, I think the fans can say whatever they want as long as his teammates support him. He's fine. Apollo Crews, that was just nasty. That was just mean. I think he's.
But I'll always be a big fan, and I'll always be a big fan of Brock Purdy. I'll always like him. He's a great guy, great family man, great husband. He's a great guy. Like he has that personality that everybody wants to be like. Everybody wants to be like Brock Purdy.
Yes.
All the young kids want to be like Brock Purdy.
Cool.
They want to be. I want to be like Brock Purdy. I want to be like Brock Purdy. I want to be like him. I want to be like Brock because Brock is such a great guy.
And drive a big John Deere tractor. I agree. No, Brock is a good role model.
So,
when you think about it.
He is a role model. He is a true identity of a role model.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Although
he's not going anywhere. And I don't know who made the rumor that Brock Purdy is going to the Giants. He's not going to the Giants. There's no way he's going there.
Not for that price.
Whoever made that rumor is not happening. So whoever made that rumor that he's going to New York, he's not going to New York. So that rumor. I don't agree with I don't agree in rumors in general.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm not a rumor person. I don't believe in rumors. I don't believe in them. They're fake. They're false. They're never going to happen. Why even bring them up in the first place, right?
Yeah, this is that time of year when they do them. I mean, we haven't heard the worst thing yet. What happens next?
But it doesn't make any sense to bring it up because it's a rumor, right? Rumors are not true.
Yeah, well,
it's like a hoax. Hoaxes are never true, right? Hoaxes are not true.
Shut up. Listen, I'm glad you got to pour that out. we got to go though because I
I love Brock Purdy and you know, he'll always, you know, like Brock Purdy's always gonna be my quarterback.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan is always gonna be my head coach. Always.
Yeah.
I'm always loved Kyle Shanahan.
All right.
People can say whatever they want to say about Kyle Shanahan. People can say he's a awful coach. He makes bad calls. I mean, that's your opinion, right?
So
you believe whatever you believe what you want to believe, right?
Yeah.
If you think he's an awful coach, back it up. Back it up with evidence. You need to give evidence. If you say Shanahan is an awful coach,
Shuttle, we really
you gotta back.
Okay. Once you get him wound up like that, he gets really supercharged. Shuttle, I didn't mean it. We didn't. Production we'll see him Friday. Hey, Tony, ATL.
Ronbo, good evening. How you doing today, sir?
Doing fine, Tony. You know, it's at that fun time of year, and you know, Tony, do the Falcons? Do you guys entertain a lot of just wild rumors and things started by the media? It's always funny, but then again, every now and then they're so brilliant and clever with the way they come at the fan base because they'll say things that you have to give a little thought to and consideration. Even Bill just said something. I says, whoever this guy is, he's talking about Trent, that Williams was sat down. There was nothing wrong with him. I can believe that. His ankle shouldn't have took 6 weeks to heal. But that he didn't play. Kyle may have said, Trent, listen, there's no point in you coming back out this year. What I want you to do is get healthy, and let's go back next year and give it another swing. I could see where that might be possible. And also, if the Giants were to offer 3 first-round picks, first of all, the Mara family would fire everybody over there if they did do that deal. But if they were to give the 49ers 3 first-round picks, I don't believe Shanahan and Lynch would ignore that. Even though it would Jed York would probably come in and intervene possibly, but still, some of the wildness that you hear, you could actually see the possibility slightly could be there.
It's very slight, Ronbo, especially with the signing of famous anus Jameis Winston as the backup.
Yeah.
They're going to sign Russell Wilson, so that's going to take care of their quarterback situation there. But Ronbo, I want to get away from football just for a minute. Chrissy Jim Kim Everett, we've been jumping on him. You've been busy. You haven't seen it.
Yeah.
He disrespected Sharice Armistead. You know how we agree and disagree about stuff.
Yeah.
We disagreed with her about something, and then he said what he said, made his comment, which was fine. But at the end, he said, "Make me a sandwich," and we jumped all over his ass about that. Just to let you know.
Okay, Jim, I have made clear if I see any gender-related shots at the ladies, you're gone. So, Jim, all the other rhetoric you throw up there, it means nothing. You're a Ram fan, so you got no room. But you will leave the ladies alone. Jim, if I catch it, okay, we'll say goodbye because I'm not going to warn you again. You know better, all right? So with that said, either behave or be gone. That's the choice, all right?
Yeah, we got his ass, Rambo. Me and a few others. Talk about, you disrespecting this lady. She knows more about football and 2 of her fingers than he does his whole body. He's a Rams fan. You got to consider the source.
Well, I mean, there's that too. See, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, Tony,
Rambo, I'm tired of Brock Purdy getting disrespected. You know, me and Sharice was talking about this too. I'm like, the only reason why they disrespect Brock Purdy, no matter what he does when y'all win, he got all this talent around him, and you even said this. But then when they lose, they want to strictly blame him. The only reason why he doesn't get his respect is because of the round he was drafted, and he was the last pick. If he was a 3rd-round pick or 4th-round pick, everybody would give him his respect. It's not right.
Yeah, no.
Look at what he did in the NFC Championship game against Detroit. If it wasn't for Brock Purdy, y'all wouldn't have went to the Super Bowl.
Damn
It
right.
was because of Brock Purdy that y'all came back. He refused to let y'all lose that game.
I mean, he would not give up. I mean, that picture's so epic. I wish I could get a photo of that. You see this mass of lions and everybody rolling around him. Same with the Packers. Brock Purdy's not paying any attention. He's standing there looking downfield. He makes his shot. I said, Brock
And then he
Purdy.
took him on several times, especially in the championship game. He took off running. He ran what he had to and got those first downs. He's like, I am not letting us lose.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with Brock Purdy. People say bad things about him, but I say, you know what? He's got the numbers to prove that he ain't as bad as you're saying. So, yeah.
So, but yeah, I think any day now, and you made a good point, Ronbo. You said Sierra would love New York because that would help her career.
Oh, yeah.
He already met with them on Friday, just like Aaron Rodgers met with Pittsburgh on Friday. Now let's see what happens, because that's what I think is going to happen. And like you said, Aaron Rodgers would be a fool not to sign with Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, he's got all the things he needs over there. I mean, everything he needs. And he's used to the cold weather.
Yes.
So what is it, Aaron? And Aaron walked away. What's that name? The captain of the team. I loved what he said. And he apologized, I think, early yesterday. I said, man, what is there to think about? You either want to be a Steeler or you don't. If you don't, bye. You know? I said, damn.
Exactly. Because they're hard-nosed. They're like the 49ers to me are a hard-nosed organization, too. They don't get credit for it.
For the Steelers.
Y'all have a tradition, a history. Do you want to be a 49er or don't you? Do you want to be a Steeler or don't you? Those type of teams have that championship pedigree behind them.
Yeah. So, it's not something you think about. That's true. That's a good point by what's the name of that big dude in Pittsburgh that is the captain? I think he's
the safety. I forgot his name.
No,
the guy that plays with Minka Fitzpatrick.
No, this is
All-Pro.
This is a lineman. Safety. This is that big lineman.
Oh, it's a lineman?
Ironhead.
Really? I got to look at that up. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Anyway, he said it, and because only a captain's going to say things like that. Everybody else on the team, he didn't want to play here. Well, fine. But this dude went in and make a statement out where he could go public. So I said, Aaron.
Exactly. You do or you don't. At Pittsburgh, they're not going to kiss his butt for him to come there.
Oh, man, I said another thing. It's a privilege for him to come over there, especially with what he's done the last couple of years. But Tony Tomlin is a man. He can actually open up an office and be a football counselor. Tomlin's dealt with a lot of crap down through the years, and you heard probably there was an article recently. Tomlin's dealt with a lot of players that have lost their minds. AB is probably the worst one.
Look how it turned out. Look how Antonio Brown. Now we know that Antonio Brown was the problem, not Tomlin. When he left, you saw what he showed his butt in Oakland after they paid him all that money, and everywhere else he went. Tampa, everywhere else he been. Le'Veon Bell. He leaves Pittsburgh, nothing.
And Le'Veon apologized recently about that. He said, if I had to do all over again, I wouldn't have done what I did.
I'd have stayed in Pittsburgh. Yep. He'd have prolonged his career.
So Tomlin's a hell of a coach, for more reasons that people
Great
know.
coach.
He doesn't put it out in public that he knows how to handle people. But Pickens, Pickens doesn't understand. Pickens, Tomlin's been where you're going, and keep it up. You will not be a Steeler forever because there's no room for that, especially if DK Metcalf does a good job this year and he can behave. But DK's another head case. Tomlin, why does he keep pulling these head cases? Of course, he's not in charge of bringing in personnel, but still, DK's not well either. Well, that's a
check this out, though, Ronbo. So they just got DK Metcalf. Let's do a scenario. Let's say on draft night, okay, first round pick, they pick whatever. Let's say day 2, in the second round, Pittsburgh takes a wide receiver. Now, Pickens' ass is gonna get real tight.
Keep cutting up. And that day that every player on the field, Pickens came off the field. Remember that day he dodged that play? Yeah, I forgot how he put it.
And they had another receiver, Ron. But who was that receiver they had out of Notre Dame? And then they traded him to the Bears. Then he went to Miami. He did nothing. What was that guy's name? Recently, too, in the 2020s. Big receiver. He was acting up, and they got him out of there.
He played next to AB. I know who you're talking about. He went to USC.
Yeah. I thought he went to Notre Dame.
Well,
but anyway,
you're not
he
talking
ain't
about
in the league
Juju.
no more.
You're not talking about Juju.
No, not Juju. Not Juju. I'm talking about that other cat.
I don't know.
Drafted out of Notre Dame. Pittsburgh took him, and I can't think of his name.
Oh,
he ain't been in the league 5 years. He's out of the league now.
It's Chase Claypool. You know
Chase
what?
Claypool. Exactly. Perfect example.
He was a badass, too. Claypool could play. I kept saying that after that year. Oh, man, we had a chance to get him. And you know what? Sometimes when Lynch and Shanahan don't pick people up, there is more to it than we know. He didn't. The 49ers had a falling out with DK Metcalf too. He would have came maybe before Debo, but DK he just got all pissed off during an interview at the combine. I mean, Shanahan and Lynch actually probed his mind, and Metcalf got pissed. And they says, okay, well, we can just scratch it from the list right now. So, wow. And Metcalf apologized for it later.
You can't be a niner. But Ronbo, y'all struck gold by signing Demarius Robinson, the wide receiver from the Rams. He had an excellent season last year. Y'all got a good one there.
So, you know, we're going to find out because BA's not coming back until halfway through the season, and I don't know what kind of condition he's going to be in, but yeah. So, we'll find out.
Yep.
I'm not.
Juwan Jennings
Offense, I'm not real worried about.
That's why everybody's talking about y'all not rebuilding. I wish they would quit saying that.
Well,
like you said, 10 out of those 12 players that are gone.
We weren't playing anyway.
Only played 50% of the time.
No, it's the other way. Yeah. So, and we could have got rid of Drake. He's not coming back. Get him. You can't. But he's off a rookie contract, so you can't. You still take a dead cap hit. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to defense.
If y'all don't take a offensive lineman in the first round, do you think y'all gonna take one in the second round?
Yeah, I think first round is definitely a defensive. We don't have any defensive linemen. I don't know what the 49ers plan on doing about that. We have 4 or 5 guys. Maybe we have 6. 49ers don't have any defensive linemen.
Well, I on one of my Falcon blogs, I had proposed this trade, and everybody loved what I was saying. We picked 15th in the first round. I said, well, Terry Fontenot needs to get on the phone with Jacksonville, see if Jacksonville is shopping the Trayvon Walker, the first pick of the draft, 2022, the outside linebacker edge rusher. Yeah. Tell them we will give them our first-round pick at 15. They already picked at 5. That gives them 2 first-round picks. If they'll give us Trayvon Walker and their second-round pick at 36.
Well, that'd be a nice pickup, too.
Yep. And then we would have 2 second-round picks. We would pick, 4th in the second round.
Mm-hmm. Because, the Falcons, that's pretty much all you're lacking because you did lose a big-time defender, didn't you? But, yeah. That's it.
Grady, I'm going to miss Grady.
Yeah. I brought him up because I just want to hear you say, Tony's real passionate about Grady, too.
Ruke Aroro, the guy we took in the second round out of Clemson, was the same school as Grady did. Grady took him under his wing last year. It's time for him to step up. He showed some flashes last year. He had 3 sacks. So it's his time now.
Yeah. Well, it takes get out of the rookie year and get in next year. I'm looking forward to some of the guys around the league doing that. Tony, we gotta go though because I gotta go get in bed. And I will see you Friday of the end of the week. All right.
Yes, sir, man. Take some time with you and the family. Handle your business. Do what you got to do. And Ronbo, slightly bad news. Charles Omenihu re-signed with KC because I was hoping we get him, or at least you get him. We sign him back, but he's re-signed with Kansas City.
Dude, I know he got paid. That's why we couldn't afford him. He got $10 million that year, I think, after he left and went to KC too. We're not out to give Andy up that much cash. Anyway,
I bet you he didn't get $10 million this time, but we couldn't get him back. So
yeah. All right, Tony. I'll see you Friday. Always a pleasure.
All right, sir. I'll see you Friday, and then hopefully there should be a lot of news going on, and we'll get caught up.
Lies and everything else, I know. All right. Good. Have a great night, Tony.
All right, have a good one, sir.
You too. Thanks, Tony. Night. Okay. 49er Brian. Brian says, Mac Jones will be washing Brock's Toyotas and John Deere's. I know. Mac Jones, I don't know why everybody thinks, and the disrespect goes beyond fans. You'll never catch anybody on any program saying, 2 or 3 people maybe, but you're never going to hear anybody say anything good about Brock Purdy, which is very extraordinary. Even your worst quarterbacks get a little love, but not Brock. People talk about him like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I was like, I don't know that that's warranted. Really? It's like that? I'll sit there sometimes and I can't, really? Oh. We'll see. Brock's got to get out there. He's a grown man. He's got to take care of himself. He'll earn his own respect. We don't need to take up for him too often. Sometimes it gets so ludicrous I can't help but to say something. Anyway, fam, Have a great week. I'll see you Friday. Let's see what's cooking up in Santa Clara, and we'll get all over it. All right? We got to start lining up some, by the way, if you do want to do a draft, I think we should probably start doing that now, huh? So if you want to come in and give us a mock draft, go ahead and contact me. ronbosports@gmail.com. I think I got it on social media. ronbosports@gmail.com. And let's get you lined up for a mock draft on Red and Gold JM. Okay? All right, fam. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, because I can't wait to see you next week. And thanks for the cash tonight, fam. Always appreciate it. See you in a few days. Niners!